wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. Know too much, get left in the ditch. CIA scratches if Clinton's getting itch. Yeah, I wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. I wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. Wiki leaking, now your dome into a ditch. You wish the simulation had glitch. You wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. I wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. Know too much, get left in the ditch. CIA scratches if Clinton's getting itch. Yeah, I wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. I wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. Wiki leaking, now your dome into a ditch. You wish the simulation had glitch. You wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. I wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. Wiki leaking out your dome into a ditch. You wish the simulation had a glitch. You wanna be
Britney Spears, can we be saved? God, why is Satan controlling the universe?
The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, Jamaicans, it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys. The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, Jamaicans, it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys.
Big up yourself. Welcome to the Sunday night edition of the Secret Society of Good Guys, where the ladies smoke free. This is extra special tonight, so make sure you hit the like and subscribe. And to all the hardcores that find us on Rumble or the Secret X channel that's only under like hidden coding and symbolism, thank you guys always for watching as well. You're extra hardcore that you don't even need our amazing audience. But today is 12/1, which makes it Abbie's birthday eve. So, we are all in yellow for Britney Spears, because
Yes,
if
we
you're
are.
extra hardcore to SSGG, we are always late, but we try to schedule things for 12:02 around here because that is Britney's birthday time, which is also Abbie's birthday time. So if you love Britney Spears like we do, make sure you hit that thumbs up one more time, baby.
And if you love Abbie like we do, hit that like and subscribe button.
Or you're on fucking notice. So, hi, you guys. How's your periods?
I want to be rich, but not
It's
Seth
over.
rich.
It was last
I wanna
week.
be rich, but not Seth rich. Today was a great XRP day.
It
It
was
wasn't a good
actually.
XRP day.
It's a good crypto day, but I don't want to start with crypto, but it's just like, oh my God.
We won't start with crypto. We'll save it till the end. But I was thinking that we might have our own crypto channel anyway. Like we might start it as an off thing of SSGG or Project Chaney or any of that. And it might
Confirmation.
just be like SSGG crypto girls. And it might just be the three of us hanging out, and whoever else wants to join us. And maybe we'll just geek out on stuff like that. And if it's awesome, then we'll air it somewhere on a certain night or day.
You know what we should do? We should
Tell me.
invite some of these crypto guys who actually do really well in the field and have them on the show and just talk about potential future investments and just make that a thing.
Not even like an investment thing. I was thinking about having just one episode called Crypto 101, where it went over a few kind of wallets, a few kind of exchanges, even a few kind of lingos, like words that they use and the ways that crypto traders talk to each other and slang. And like, there's so much about it that if you're not into crypto, you don't really get that. Like, somebody calling you a Chad would be a really big compliment.
Mm-hmm.
I would like this episode.
This is what the thing is, though. Crypto guys, it's mostly a male dominated world, but there's a lot of women who want to play, and they're not even looked at, honestly. A lot of women will just be used for their money like they're dumb and stupid. No, women know what they're fucking doing. Women have the intuition. They know what charts to pick. They know how to read charts. We pick up on patterns. We have weird ADHD. So y'all need to understand there's a big women demographic that y'all are not touching, where you can be making way more money if y'all just let the girls play too. That's all I'm just trying to say.
I know. I know it's usually a male dominated field, but I will say all the like groups that I've met, and there are some girls out there. Like, I think there are as few though as women in conspiracy. It's like it's like there's more girls talking about Real Housewives of New York than crypto. It's wild. We could find like 10 Mariah Carey breakdowns of the same song we've been listening to for 3 decades, but girls talking about crypto. I'm sure there's one out there. She probably has her tits on fleek and nails.
Nails did, hair did.
That's what I have to say though about the crypto is like just in the look and the design and all that stuff of a lot of the coins, they're so male dominated. There aren't a lot of girl coins there, and I feel like we have a whole different sense of humor and stuff. I'll tell you guys about my stupid sense of humor today. This is the dumbest joke, but I made myself laugh. Because every girl I know is on their period right now. And so I was like, damn, have you ever been on your period so hard that you're not even PMS, you're PM Dawn?
I like PM Dawn.
I know, doesn't that show our age?
My PMS is like extreme PMS. I'm super triggered. Like, cunt.
You're full
Well,
PM
it's
Dawn.
the new moon too. I feel like the new moon does that. New moon fucks me up. Like, I never noticed anything with the full moon, but it's always the new moon.
I want to be rich, but not Rothschild rich.
Like a virgin moon, almost.
So much you end up letting on fire. It's been such a crazy couple of days. We talked about the Rothschild death, but did you guys see Hunter Biden's blanket pardon?
Yes.
I'm not going to pardon my son. No. And then he asked that secretary, I guess that black woman, what's her name? She went off on a guy. Is Biden ever going to pardon his son? No. And he wanted to continue asking the question. And he's like, no. Like, what's going on here? But at the same time, would you not pardon your own son?
I mean, if he was innocent.
I don't know, man. That's a tough one.
My mom was always really like, she made us pay our consequences for our crimes.
Mine too, and I've always been that way with my kids as well. Like little ass kids, like snatching stuff out of the store, like not even on purpose, not realizing it was bad, but I make them take it back and shit. Like,
but really, the whole thing, the reason he has to get pardoned and stuff is because all of his crimes are because of his dad.
His dad, yeah. That's
so
why
he has to be pardoned because it's all Ukrainian crimes and Chinese money embezzlement and tax evasion, and I don't even care about the cocaine and of age women. Like, yeah, really care. Go do crack with Lady Gaga, Hunter. Big on you that any girl wants to kiss you on the mouth with those jack-o'-lantern teeth
and those tidy whities.
But
my favorite
from
thing
what
about
I
him is
gathered, girls said Hunter Biden was kind of well hung.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I mean, we all have, but I don't have a ton to compare it to. So I was
that's just huge.
So I didn't want to be.
I dare Google this. Shit.
I'm like, Hunter Biden's really well hung, and then Layla's like, that ain't shit. Like, I didn't want to be the.
No, that is a big dick. I'm not- My dad's in the other fucking room.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
Big Joe. But they called his dad the big guy.
I mean, I guess it runs in the family.
Maybe that's why he fell off his bike.
His leg got in the way.
His third leg got in the way.
I never understood why boys' bikes had the bar there. Like thinking about their
Me
sensitive
either.
parts there. I'm
I
like,
swear.
why is a boy's bike like that?
It should be the opposite.
It should. Like you would think that would be built-in protection for like the junk.
But
the
it was
family
made
tools.
it was the dip was made so women could step over with their skirts on.
Oh, okay. So it's like side saddle.
Kind of. But it was like they could wear their skirt and still pedal, like without having to pull up their skirt all the way and let it sit on the bar.
That
But then
makes
it's like
sense.
if you guys made a better design, just design everything like that. You don't have to have I'm never wearing a skirt. I don't need
Why-
to have to step through.
Why haven't they
Yeah.
updated it? Like, what the fuck? We're not side saddling nowadays. Like, why? Like, you're making new designs
rides bike
every
in a dress?
year. Why not just update the design? Say, hey, they're not side saddling anymore.
No, it wasn't
Well-
ever side saddle.
Oh,
But I'm thinking it's like the idea of
Can you imagine trying to ride a bike side saddle?
well, I can't
I've
imagine
tried.
wearing a bike in
Just
a dress.
one leg.
But then I
Uh-huh.
think like the Russians, like Russian girls, and what's it called? What's that Christian religion where they wear the huge buns and dresses all the time,
Wait,
and they lurch on the church floor?
not
Mormon? No.
No, it's
No.
the
I can't think of
Pentecostal.
it. Pentecostal, yes.
Oh.
Boom.
There's
I
a lot
can't
of them
believe that
here.
was in there.
What is that, Pentecostal?
They're like hardcore fundamentalist Christians. Like women have to wear long dresses. You're not allowed to cut your hair, but they all wear their hair in these big little.
Abbie, I'm
like,
going to tell
Amish?
you because it wouldn't be
Amish?
the good guys without it. And I don't care, but I don't think you're coming through your microphone. I think
Oh,
you're coming
no,
through
you
your.
are.
Let me see.
You guys, I'm so sorry. I'm such an audiophile. It's
I'm glad
from
you
the
are.
years and years of doing podcasts without video. And I've realized like when I concentrate, I don't see like my
It
ears.
says I'm going through it. Can you hear me?
Now you
better
are
now?
perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Better.
It sounds echoey, though.
Oh well, I could have fucked with the gain. Is it worse or better?
Worse. You sound like you're
Yeah.
in
How about now?
There
Oh,
you
yeah.
go.
Okay.
Oh,
Yay.
When I was
Look
setting it
at
up, I
us.
must
Look
have
how
like messed with all
technical.
the yeah,
teamwork.
Yeah, look at these three ladies, how they just handled that.
Yep.
Period.
Okay, so what were you? Pentecostal, they roll around the floor and they like put snakes in their lap. What were you saying?
They do all that shit. Like they speak in tongues. Like you're highly pressured to speak in tongues and to lurch on the church floor. Like, but women are not allowed to wear. They have to wear long dresses all the time. So like the girls in high school and everything still have to wear long dresses to high school every day. And
Have you guys ever been around people speaking in tongues?
No.
yeah,
How old were you the first time?
I was in my 20s, so I
What did you
hadn't
think?
seen it before. Well, it wasn't a Pentecostal church, so it's just a guy in church who was doing it, and I was like, I don't know, like I don't know if people are faking or if it's real, but he was feeling it from his soul, so I guess it's real. So
I know it's so crazy. It's like I know people with all sorts of spiritual things, and some of them will be like, like like they have weird different tics. Some of them will lick their lips a lot, lick their lips a lot, lick their lips a lot. Some of them will like fidget, like whatever the thing is. But yeah, I don't know. I I I remember I was probably like 18, and me and my brother, my parents sold our house and they moved to North Florida. And they, we didn't fucking know anyone in this town, and neither of us were like in school. So we were like, oh my gosh. And we were like good kids. We were like, oh, maybe we'll go to this church group or whatever. My parents went to this church. They were like, oh, it's like older kids, like you'll like it. We went over to this house and they were all holding hands in this prayer, and like half of them started speaking in tongues. And me and my brother, I was like, don't look at me, bitch. Like, don't look at me, bitch. Like, we can't make eye contact because we'll fucking start dying.
I would have too at that
dude,
age for sure.
Me and my brother, like when we left, and we're like, we still talk about this now. Those people sounded like when me and my brother tried to pretend we were from another country.
Yeah.
Like when we were like 6 years old and we'd be like, gibbity gobbly goop. These people probably think we're from France. Gibbly gobble blah blah blah. Like
That's
that's
what
what
it
I
sounds like.
yeah, I just felt like the speaking, not that energies can't roll through you in all sorts of ways. You know, people fucking gotta dance. They hear music, they gotta dance. You know, I get it, but it doesn't mean that everybody dances and I don't laugh sometimes
Well,
either.
my friend was Pentecostal growing up, and she said that they would tell her because they would like literally like if you hadn't like shook on the church floor and all that like before, then they would pray for you. Like the church wouldn't be over until you had done it. Like so so she said like she couldn't speak in tongues, so they just told her somebody told her, you just say watermelon, watermelon, watermelon like a million times. And so I was like, the fuck? Like they're like, just pretend so we can all get out of church. Like it's insane to me.
That's
But
crazy.
but in the Bible it says like everyone can have the gift of tongues, but that's not the spiritual gift. You should be seeking like the higher spiritual gifts. Like it's a gift, but it's really just to honor God. It doesn't like do anything to help
Well, isn't
man.
there one of the gifts is to understand? Like you have the
It
gift of interpretation.
Some people do, yeah, but it's not one that's like listed in the Bible.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
like
isn't there like a whole thing on like light language too that sounds like that? It was exactly the same way, and they're just saying I'm just like, what are they saying? And it's like just them mumbling, jumbling words, and they're like, oh, this is light language. And I'm like, is this real? Are you just fucking looshing me?
I don't know. That's the hard thing. I do think some people do it
I've
because
never
that guy
done
in
it.
church, I felt like he was literally doing it. And like he did a lot of like shh noises, like SH type stuff, like but it sounded legit and he wasn't doing it for attention.
What about
Mm.
if the same way that like schizophrenics, like somebody starts studying it and these schizophrenics all over the world are talking to the same deities? What if like people started to study this talking in tongues? Because you know how like Sia, if you ever listen to her talk about how when she writes a song, she doesn't really write the song. She more so like ah blah 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 chandelier. She just has one word that she knows is gonna be where, and everything else is a blah blah blah, and the words fill themselves in. Like she just
Oh
gets a
wow.
tune, and so she just know. But if you look at all her songs, they all kind of have that like one word, and then there's all of it's built around this like word.
Ooh,
It's like pure interesting,
that
and
is
so
fascinating.
and if you ever hear Sia and anyone who sings Sia's songs, they mimic Sia doing their song. So like everything about Rihanna is just her mimicking Sia, which is wild. Like she almost stole it's almost like the Essence
Now,
thievery.
wasn't
This totally
Sia?
ties into what like Layla had just sent me on TikTok about Enya.
Mhm.
Because everyone thinks that Enya sang in Gaelic, but really like only part of what she's saying was in Gaelic. It's all just made up language.
Who's Enya?
And
No, that's not Enya.
That's not Enya?
no,
It's
No.
like that though.
who can say
Oh, there it is.
that one? Yeah.
That's Enya. That's Enya. Only it's like cruise boat music, Enya. It
Yeah.
seems like old people cruise boat music.
Well, wasn't Sia also kept in Beyonce's basement?
That's
Oh,
what
I don't know.
Yeah.
her code said that she was kidnapped by Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
Did she have to thank Beyonce too?
Nope.
And
She
I don't
didn't.
think she ever did.
Mm-mm.
So
So
Oh,
hasn't
and she didn't show her face ever. Like that was
yeah.
her whole shtick. Like she would only like she didn't want the fame part. Where if you think about everything we talk about with like these deities or like the Sasha Fierce of it all, these deities need to have fame. They need to have an altar that they stand at and a whole bunch of fans. They need to be like honored, like the TV show Chaos. So isn't it something curious about Sia? Does it allow her to not take the deal with the devil if no one knows her face? Like she doesn't take the fame. She still releases the songs. I mean, you know who she is now, but
Yeah.
is there any truth to that kind of idea?
I think so. That's the perfect way to put it. It's like she's actually protecting her soul because of her disguise.
I know. I feel like I should pull up a picture of Sia
Maybe
because she
like
has some
Michael
crazy.
Jackson too, with all his new faces.
Maybe that's not even his real image that we're used to, and
Because
that's
now we know what
guys.
Sia looks like, but we didn't always know.
Yeah, she would sing backwards a lot of times.
Or cut one eye out of her hair.
Yeah.
Oh, one eye symbolism.
Mm.
What about if Sia's Michael Jackson? But she
Well,
would do
that would
this
be
shit.
interesting. Yeah.
I think that was her whole. She would wear like a bag on her head. She would make other people wear, like, if she went to an interview with a camera, she would sometimes make the other person do it. It was almost like she was taking part in this Marina Abramovich art, now that I'm thinking about it. Like that.
It does. It almost seems like that.
Yeah,
Whatever.
like the fame thing. She comes out after Shia LaBeouf puts the bag on his head and says, "I'm not famous." And he's a Disney kid. Who knows what happened to that kid? He had some weird symbolism with Ursula the Sea Witch on his. That's in the file for some reason. A video of him sitting on like Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon, and he has like Ursula the Sea Witch button. Weird.
What's the name of the god, like the sea witch or whatever, like that's like Ursula in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies?
I only saw the first.
Oh,
Well,
I don't know. I'm not a Johnny Depp girl.
I was.
Something about him never did it for me, and it wasn't even his penis. Like, he just
My
always kind of
crybaby version. That's what got me hooked.
I think I always knew he killed River Phoenix, and so I just didn't like. I was more of a River Phoenix girl. So
Who's River Phoenix? I don't know who that is.
Calypso.
well,
It's the goddess Calypso.
Joker, his brother, and
He was in Stand By Me. He was like Chris in Stand By Me. He was so cute.
The Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Okay.
But he was really cute. He kind of was like
I didn't know that.
And he was like besties with Christina Applegate. And he OD'd outside of the Viper Room, which is Johnny Depp's bar in Los Angeles, somewhere in maybe the 90s. And so, yeah, I don't know why. I do like Edward Scissorhands. I'm that kind of weird girl, like Beetlejuice and Edward Scissorhands and Jack and Sally. That's my shtick.
Yeah, I wish they made movies like that still.
Beetlejuice 2?
But no, it's just everything 2 or 3 or 4 or
They could
500.
try, but they will never replicate that era. They can't. They could try, but they can't. The humor's not there. The originality is just.
Which muse is gone?
Huh?
Which muse is gone?
Oh, I think that if they allowed us to have any kind of, like, wherever we stopped having power, that's where the originality stopped. And so they never need a new story to come. They can just rewrite the same, because isn't it Shakespeare that says it's like the same 30 stories over and over again that we're like playing out, something like that. 47 stories over and over again.
47, baby.
So yeah, a blanket pardon, which, how do you think that'll end up playing out? Just bye.
Cash on cash. Cash Patel is gonna do some damage, I think, once he steps in as FBI director, right?
A little bit about Cash, which is kind of curious, is, everyone's like, whoa, Elon, the stuff he said, where he's like, you are the media now. And like over and over again and this kind of thing. If you listen to Cash in any interviews, he's like, I'm going to go into the FBI and I'm going to like completely dismantle it.
Everything.
And yeah, it's like he's never been hidden about it. It's not like it's like so many interviews that you can find. I think Cash might be
my favorite
intimidating
thing is him hanging out with
Oh. I was like,
you guys don't know what sign that is? Trump doesn't.
No, I see it now.
She wasn't paying attention. She's always playing on her phone during the shows.
I am.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's Q. There's something big going on. I don't know what. I don't know who Q is, but he hung out with Q. and he posted it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
It is the craziest timeline, but it's cozy for some people.
Not for many.
Not for many.
Nope. Not for
Do you
many.
think we have like a false flag? Do you think blue beam's on its way? Like, do you, because now everybody's like, okay, we made it to November 5th. Do we make it to January 20th?
They're concocting something because it's a little quiet. Besides this Biden pardoning shit. Oh, let's give him something to talk about. Yeah, let me pardon my son because I did it anyway. But I think they are conjuring something. I just don't know what.
What's the deal with Kamala still trying to get money?
For what?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I
For her
guess like a lot of her
transition or
campaign money
something?
was missing, but then I don't know. Somebody said I read a news article the other day about how she's still trying to raise money, and I'm like, what is she?
Oh, because
What?
she's in debt, isn't she?
I guess her own personal debt.
I think because of all this
Oh, I think they're $20
campaigning.
million in debt. Their
Yeah.
campaign's $20 million in debt.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
That's crazy. And when people are donating money to you happen to be in debt somehow, $20 million deep, and you want to fucking run a country? You're nuts. Like those are donations, and you went into debt with fucking donations. Y'all are bugging.
I know I kind of am feeling like they're either the easy one, as crazy as it sounds, is they've almost set us up so much for the fake alien invasion that I almost feel like they give us a fake apocalypse instead. Like they're going to give us the angels versus demons play out over the alien play out.
I think over Israel, over the mosque that everyone's talking about, that mountain that's there. I'm not sure
Well,
what
see, that one
mountain it
makes
is.
sense because it's like I think on the prophetic timeline, it's in Isaiah. So like the next thing that's supposed to happen, it like the big prophetic thing is that the Magog of it all, which the Bible, like Bible thumpers think that that's Russia, and Magog is like the leader, like or Magog would be like the Moscow region, and then Gog would be the leader of Moscow. Like so, this would be like Vladimir Putin, the Russians, like coming in and trying to invade Israel from the mountains, and then God is supposed to level the mountains. So that would kind of make sense in the whole angels and demons of it all. And then that's seriously supposed to be the next thing on the prophetic timeline.
You know what's interesting? I saw this weird post on this Russian calendar, and a lot of their months have prophetic like imagery of what's supposed to happen, like the bear with leaning to one side, and some other the leopard, the beast of the leopard, with four wings and four heads, the different
Mm-hmm.
beasts. So it was showing like how Russia had different calendars that almost represented these characters.
From
And
biblical prophecy.
yeah, and I'm just like, yo, this is fucking hilarious. Don't fall for it, people. Don't fall for it. I'm telling you.
Isn't there something though, like whatever happens with any of the maybe it's tribulation or the rapture, I don't know. It's going to happen regardless, and who you are is more important. But isn't there one part of it where it's like you cannot even look outside because ghouls are outside?
I don't think it's
Um,
gonna happen.
I don't
No,
think
I'm
it's
just
Oh,
saying in the shtick
yeah.
of
it's
it. There's like one part of it that's very terrorizing that I'm like, if I didn't abide by any of the other rules, I'd abide by that rule.
it basically says that like a thief in the night, you don't know when it's gonna happen, and when it does, like you're supposed to go. You don't look behind you. Like don't grab anything, don't grab anybody else, just go. So like
Maybe it's Passover. I'm
one
thinking of.
person will be taken and another will be left behind. I think it's in the book of Matthew. I feel like Jesus talks about it.
I just feel like
There's a whole bunch of crazy shit. If you because I was big time into eschatology, which is like end times prophecy and stuff. That was like something that I was always looking for the end. I was looking for the signs and all of that in all the news stories, and it's like all of it. And
Chaney said it best.
it's
We
crazy.
all have our end time.
We do, yeah.
Everybody has their end time.
That's Nietzsche, where it's like I think where it's like the philosophy of the world will cease to exist when you're not around kind of idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's perfect sense. That is revelation. Boom. Probably the signs are for each individual person and not as a whole. Like if you really read it, in a way of like for yourself and only yourself, because this is your world and it'll end soon for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
you're a
could be
part of it
that.
all. Yeah, you're a part of it all. Yeah. But like this is my world and everyone else is in it. And just like Chaney, you and everybody else in this chat, everyone's in your world.
Like you decide if somebody is like main character in your movie, or you decide if somebody's like a bit part, or you decide if like, oh, we hated when you wrote so and so off in season 2, but
Yeah.
now that season 4 is around, we kind of like the new character that you're hanging with.
Yeah.
Like it's your movie that you're watching.
That makes more sense to me. And it calms the heart too when you think about it that way. You know how long people have been waiting for the end times to be here? I mean, I remember as a kid people talking about it.
2,000 years since Jesus died.
My God.
Do you think it goes like do you think it's depression to want it to come?
In a way, yeah, because of how people view their world, not the entire world, but their world. It's like, oh, whoa, me playing the victim.
Well, and I think it's like the ultimate black pill because you're just like this. Nothing can get better. The world
Layla
can't be
cracks me
saved.
up
So
sometimes, you
the only thing
guys.
that's gonna make it okay is Jesus coming back.
Because
Like
I'm
the actress. Oh.
forget about it.
Like poor me over here.
Whoa,
I'm sad in the mouth. I'm all
blah, blah.
I don't
Like
know.
really.
Sorry, yeah. A little off the rails. Everyone, if you made it until this part in the show and we haven't gotten in trouble yet for saying anything about Dr. Fauci or faggots, make sure you hit the like and subscribe and tell a friend and follow us on some other channel because we might be doing some live chats on X sometime soon. People have questions about the Medici dreams, and Layla's going to put together like well, it's going to be in phases, but
Yeah.
she has big plans. She talks about them. So make sure you follow everyone here on X. And I'm sorry, chat moderators, I don't have those clicks yet, but there is something screwy going on where sometimes the pictures don't show up right. And
Well, now that I
it's
got my
Mercury
laptop
retrograde.
up and running now, I can actually put things together. Just have to find the time because,
You
life.
own Saturn. Saturn doesn't own you.
Hey, I like that.
Period.
Time.
Chronos.
Yeah, it's weird.
Time is weird.
And this is another thing too. I don't know where, when, or anything about this when I say this, but there's something about Saturn. This was the only thing I could find. Remember how we were like, I can't believe I'm going to bring this up again. For those of you who didn't sit through the part of the show where orcas are wearing salmons on their heads. So orcas are wearing fish on their heads, but one weird thing that I think that was happening in the like celestial part of it is Saturn was tilted, so whatever the rings of Saturn and whatever our direction from Earth, you got the most amount of them. It was the most amount that had ever been shown to the planet, whatever that's called in its tilt and whatever that thing, it was that happening during 1987. That was like this big celestial event that happened that year. So I was wondering if somewhere the orcas could be attached to Saturn or any of it, because those sea animals are weird to me.
They really are.
Strange.
Where's this image that I saw today? I think Abbie posted because Summer posted it, but it was like a fucking crab wearing a hat.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is up with these sea creatures and these odd hats? They take it from some kind of what, Abbie? What was it? A leather something? Leather.
What
I
about
don't
if
even
you
remember. I
zoomed
was
in? Like, salmon are like pink, like really like fucking red.
sorry.
Like, and if you zoomed in and on top of the orca, like in the salmon in shells, it said MAGA.
Leather coral. It took a piece of leather coral and wore it on its head.
Dude, you know what I want to test out? You see this lady who's I guess water is its own intelligence, so she's practicing all these I guess experiments with water, and she speaks to the water now. She's at the point where she's thinking it and is speaking to it like an intelligence because it is. So what if like speak into the water like MAGA, like can you show me Donald Trump and what Donald Trump looks like? Can it draw the image? Because this being of water, you put a seed into the fucking testing samples of water and you put it in the fridge, this water will show what that seed will grow into. It'll draw the image of what that seed represents as a flower. This is how intelligent water is. So now I'm at the point where like I'm drinking water now and I'm speaking to it. I'm like, hey, water, thank you so much. I wasn't thanking you for a very long time, but now I'm aware. And thank you. Can you please make this healing water? So whatever's
Do you think
wrong
water
with
is
me,
the best word for it?
I don't know what to call it.
I know, like, but
They
it just
gave
seems
us-
like water seems so harsh,
For us, it's
like
ooey.
a hard word, like water, water.
We say ooey.
That's prettier. Like even Latin, any of the Latin countries, or even like, I don't know. It just seems like the English way to say it is like
Mother
blip,
ooey.
blip. It seems like I'm speaking in tongues. Water.
It's fascinating. I'm telling you, it's so intelligent. I'm so aware of it now that I feel like I can heal myself just by speaking to this water. I think we all can. And I feel like that's how they fuck with us. Really.
Well, that's what I have
That's how
this
crazy I am. I
this
feel like it's
device
true.
that I got to like mitigate 5G
I don't think
in
you're
my
crazy.
house, but it also restructures
dude.
water. So you can put like your water next to it and it restructures the water. And I thought after I bought it, I was like, I'm stupid. This is so like probably bullshit. And then I slept with it right next to my bed the first night and I closed my eyes and I was tripping out because when I closed my eyes, I was seeing like stars and all these weird freaking swirly patterns. And I wasn't even like at the like liminal state yet. Like I literally had just closed my eyes and I was like, oh, it's restructuring the water in my body. The fuck? This is crazy. It works.
Yeah.
What about like mar or myrrh or more?
Mary.
Marin.
I don't know why. Mary.
Myrrh. I always like lemur.
The myrrh, the
The
mar.
sea, like French, yeah. Lemar, lemur.
Lemur.
I don't know.
I don't know. Lemur. What the hell?
I know. That's what I was like. That's what I thought you were getting to, and you weren't. But
No. But
You-
they
you
say
French.
like lemur, lemuria. But it's the first time I always hear the like Amorica, like I hear the America in the Amircia in it. I never hear the water in that. I y'all because of like that's the first time I did, but only because you did
Yeah.
it. I didn't say it. I mean,
It's because the way
yeah.
you said
It was said,
So, yeah,
but
it was said. So
it was said here. Whoa, epiphany. That's what I like about Sunday nights, you guys, is yeah, we just
it's
bullshit.
whatever.
Yeah. We just say what our intuition wants to say. That's it.
All
And
the
my
weird.
intuition said, yeah, Layla, talk to the fucking water, bitch. Heal yourself. And that's what I'm going to try and do. And I think it's going to work. I have that belief in me. I don't know why.
Well, and it's funny because like I always talk about reality transurfing, and it teaches you different methods of manifestation, pretty much. But one of the things that he does teach you is to do it in the water. He's like, the water works different than all these other methods because the water is connected to
Float tank.
everything. But it's connected to everything everywhere.
But they want you
So
shut
you
in on a
put
float tank
intention. Yeah, but if you do it like in a bathtub and you sit there and
or
you
the
like,
ocean.
you do an intention in the water. The water all drains lead to the ocean, right? Like that's
That's what I wanted to bring up on
so,
the
but
portal
all
show.
the water in the water cycle, we're water, like all water is like renewable. But when you put it into the water,
Yeah.
you're putting it into the ether because all water is connected.
I have done it, and I've meditated in the water in the shower in my bathrooms many times. My bathrooms, the many I've
A
been
lot
in.
of people do in the shower. I
But
feel like.
I can like when I'm in my mind's eye and I close myself off and I'm in that meditation space, I can form a portal, which is like a neon green yellow. it's in this blackness, number one, and then this light just appears and it starts to turn into a portal looking thing. And it opens, and I physically in my mind I can go through that portal, but each time I'm about to like pass the ring of the neon yellow, I freak out. I'm not there
Dude,
yet. I'm not.
I did it. I did that because of Wim Hof method, learning the breathing stuff. Like I
Mhm,
started realizing I was seeing portals.
mhm,
It was like these rings of gold and everything. But then, so right after I did Wim Hof breathing one day, I closed my eyes and it was a blue ring. And I was like,
mhm.
what the fuck? So I'm seeing this blue ring. I was like, it's a portal. I'm going into the portal. I'm going into the portal. All of a sudden, I'm like, I go from being wide awake, like on my couch, to I'm in this. I'm looking at a freaking sheet, like a black curtain, but it was like sheer curtain. And so like I'm going like this because I could see a TV screen behind it. So I'm trying to like spread out the curtain so I could like look at the TV screen. These two hands grab my hands through the curtain and put its head on my forehead and goes boo. And I was like, no, because it kicked me out and I didn't want to be kicked out.
What
I was
the
trying to figure
fuck?
out what the fuck it was. So I did it. You got to try it.
You know
Do you
what
see
you
it
guys
again?
made
Just
me
do it.
just think of? You know how like all the old moon missions that we'd watch? Every
Mhm.
single one of them, when they came back, they landed in the ocean, in a
Yeah.
float in the ocean. Or did they come from the ocean inside and turn on the float and
Inside.
float to the top? And so the whole moon
Pull the
thing
little
was
parachutes.
just to explain away, yeah, like pull it like it was a safety vest. It
Yeah.
sank all the
Like,
way, it shot in, sank to the bottom. They pull it and it's like whoop.
yep.
And so it's like everything else is just like the smoke screen. Like, look up here, we're gonna call up here, yada yada yada. But what if it is portals and water?
Well, where else the water come from? And portals.
Wombs.
The vagina, the pussy.
And even just think about water swirling in the drain. Like,
So
that seems like a portal, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It always did to me when I was
It's
little.
the
I was afraid
ultimate
of it.
portal. It's why any of these human beings are on this earth. The only portal that fucking matters. It's the vagina. It brings life. It brings this reality that we all experience to life. That portal.
It
And
brings
it's the
in
ultimate
souls.
connection to whatever you want to call it. It's that.
Well, it
And it's
is.
the it is
Literally,
water.
I brought 5 freaking humans into this world, 5 souls.
And
So do you think
That's a
like
portal.
that's why Washington DC, whatever it is like between Virgin Mary's legs, like Maryland and Virginia,
to wash it.
What if there's
to
a
like put it in the portal of that to like show us like, look, this is an opening, and then the Vesica Pisces is there with the monument.
what if there's
And
a vagina cave there and we don't even know about it?
well, there's a big underground in DC. There's like a huge underground, like everywhere else. And that was like one of the big things about the Capitol is the Capitol is one of like the few places magically stone. I don't know. It's so crazy how there's all these like little weird rules and each of these courthouses have their little weird rules. But that somebody can be like tried and imprisoned and executed all there. Like it's was always that place. So that has everything underneath and tunnels and everything. But presidents, like an easy find, you can find presidential tunnels, but
Yeah.
there's tons under the White House, even House of Cards. I think House of Cards tells us so much truth that Kevin Spacey, who was ballsy enough to threaten the royal family and Ghislaine drinking coffee, it's close because it's Christmas time
You have to
and
explain
Kevin
that.
Spacey. So every
There's a lot
year
of
for
them don't know.
yeah, it just dawned on me that we're in December 1st or almost December 2nd. Abbie's birthday eve, Britney Spears' birthday eve. But Kevin Spacey from the House of Cards, who also got in trouble for like, you know, whatever sexual proclivities and stuff, but it was like at the same time as Harvey Weinstein. And he's been in a whole bunch of other movies, which I think another interesting role for him is Usual Suspects. So he gets in trouble for this shit, and then he drinks a mug on Christmas Day, and it's like a royal family mug. And it's almost like, why is Kevin Spacey drinking this mug from the royal family? And then he's talking like he's Frank Underwood from the TV show. I wonder if I can play it. It might not be
Yeah.
owned by anything.
Yeah, I think you can.
Yeah, it's not owned by anything. I can
No.
probably find it somewhere. I can find it on, you know what, his Instagram, because that's where he put them all. And he has all 3 of them there.
Oh, they're so great. It's so eerie too,
He's
in a way.
so creepy.
But he gives me pedo vibes, though.
Oh, he's weird, Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, he gives me creepy
Oh.
pedo vibes.
Okay, Kevin Spacey. Let's see. Oh, I just get so excited. I'm like, ooh, here's the first one. Let's see if it's this one. Oh, let me pause it so I can.
Thank you, Maxie.
And
I want to be rich, but not Seth Rich.
I'm feeling the new Tom Hanks plasma bag too.
Mhm. But I got that in my head.
boom. They got to change during certain times of the year. Okay, this is here. Why isn't it let me? And play.
I know what you want.
Oh, mother of pearl. Hold on. Let me not play that over and over again. It'll give me agita.
I know what you want.
I know what you want.
I got what you need. Can I get another shot? This time I'll make it hot.
IGTV. Do all of them say that?
That was Missy Elliott, by the way.
So he does that one first. Let's see what plays. Because I'm not gonna download software for.
It's the one where he's by the fire.
That's the second one. So, anyways, he does that one first, and so
Parkbench too, right?
go find it. Yeah, I couldn't find it easy on YouTube, but I don't want it to be somebody else's channel. I have to accidentally play, and then it does a whole weird thing, and we're in trouble. So, but IG, it's a free for all. So you can find that one. So then the second one he does by the fireplace, and he does them all on Christmas. It would be such a treat, and this seems like the year that we'd get it again. Like everything's playing, no pun intended, to script. Okay.
And I'm grateful to have my health back. And in light of that, I've made some changes in my life, and I'd like to invite you to join me. As we walk into 2020, I want to cast my vote for more good in this world. Ah, yes, I know what you're thinking. Can he be serious? I'm dead serious. And it's not that hard, trust me. The next time someone does something you don't like, you can go on the attack, but you can also hold your fire and do the unexpected. You can kill them with kindness.
Bizarre.
Okay. We have one more.
That's right. What would Christmas Eve be without a message from
Oh,
me?
Christmas Eve, not Christmas.
That's right. What would Christmas Eve be without a message from me? Look, this past year, Listen, a lot of people have reached out to me this past year and have shared their own struggles. And my ability to be there for them has really only been possible because of my own difficulties. And while it's been a privilege to offer support, I have to say, frankly, it's also been beyond my abilities, and it's bigger than me.
That looks like Florida behind him.
Because heartbreakingly, so many have talked about things having gotten so bad for them that they've contemplated taking their own lives. And that's enough for me to want to take an entirely different approach this year, to acknowledge their pain and say to anyone out there who's struggling, or contemplating that idea, please do not take that step. If you're standing in a place that you can no longer remain standing, if you're suffering, if you need help, if you feel guilt or shame, if you're struggling with your identity, if your back's up against the wall, or if you
He's
feel that
talking in code
there
to
is no
other
path
pedos.
for you, whatever your situation, I promise you there is a path. And that at this time, during this holiday and beyond, even if you don't feel it, there are people out there who understand and who can help, because you are not alone. And so I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, a great 2021, and say to all those out there who might be suffering, it gets better. It does get better. Happy holidays, everyone.
Isn't that weird?
So fucking weird.
It's so weird. So yeah, Kevin Spacey is attached to
Oh,
like Ghislaine and Diddy and all that jazz and the Clintons. So that was that. What is it?
we have to bring up the fact that Ellen's new house in the UK was flooded.
Well, then I saw something today that she said that's not true. My house
Oh,
wasn't flooded and I didn't
damn it.
flee the United States. Like, so I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
She didn't flee the United States, so
I
all
don't-
those
Well, maybe she has another house just in the UK and she just went to that house. I don't know. I didn't read any of the story.
you just
I
saw the headline.
figured
I know that's
I figured
pretty
I'd
much
see
read the
somebody
headline.
circle it later with a line and attach it to gematria.
Yeah.
I'd wait till the internet figured it out for me. I like wasn't interested enough in it today, but
Yeah.
not that I won't be tomorrow or even this evening.
Yeah.
I just
It's a later thing. Just
yeah, but she's creep show too. It's curious the timing.
They all are. I'm still confused why anyone's watching anything that they do or say anymore. Just like, y'all still caught up after everything? After all this? Really? P. Diddy scandal and all? All right. Cool.
I feel like every day is a new like what? But it's almost on purpose. It's like every day is a new
What the fuck?
like edge of the it's just never a normal day. It's like let's speed this up and amp this up and here's new holiday and here's new voting season and they have to make every day and if there's nothing going on it has to be look at there's Hollywood doing this thing and look at their sports doing this thing. Oh, the Olympics. Oh, it's Burning Man. Like it just seems like we're doing a lot.
A lot.
It seems like we're doing a lot all the time. It seems like a portal of its own. Like all the tedious little minutia of life that they have you going through and all the tiny like hands in your pocket of every app and everything you spend. You're like, oh, I didn't know it cost a quarter a gift.
I hate to
You
say
know?
we're all the zombies, technically. Even though
Yeah.
we're at this level of, but we still do the things. We're all still part of the distractions,
everyone's asleep.
But you have to play
Even
the
if you're
game,
like,
but
yeah.
just be a more aware that, okay, I'm watching this, but I'm not going to believe a thing that this motherfucker on the screen is telling me. And no, you're not going to fucking program me. That's it. That's how I see it, I rebuke thee.
Yeah.
Didn't we talk about monkeys couldn't swim on the last show?
Yeah.
And monkeys can't swim.
Monkeys can't
Just
swim.
so you know. Remind yourself. Monkeys can't swim. I don't think zombies could swim either.
Mm.
I think there's a lot of stuff that you'd be safe from. And apparently, like a plague, you just stay out in your vessel. If there was such a thing. I don't even know if I believe in plagues.
I don't believe in them.
I can't
I
even
really don't.
believe like somebody was like, but what do you think about like everything with, Hiroshima and all of the things that happened to those people afterward? I was like, it didn't happen to those people afterward. It happened before that, but it was something else. And they
Thank you.
have to explain it away.
Like crackheads. Juice me up.
they have to explain it away with natural
it.
disasters, or they're like, oh, let's make this whole scene that it's the water in Flint, and let's make this whole big thing, but let's not tell anyone it was like all of these things that we've been giving out way longer than any of the current situation would allow you to believe.
So like a cancer cluster would just be a bad batch.
Well, look at what they're finding out now, like messing with everything else is like the bloom in fast growing cancers. This is the tiptoey area
Yeah.
where we get MI'd on
And we would love to talk about it, but
yeah, that's why it's important that you follow us on Rumble and X.
communism.
I know. We'll see. Some of them, did you see that Zuckerberg and Trudeau were at Mar-a-Lago because they want to play ball?
Ooh, really?
Yeah, what does that mean?
What is
The
that gonna
ball
mean?
is in your court.
Well, I don't know about technical term. That could have just been
Oh.
a newspaper term for it. I just mean like they were at Mar-a-Lago, which I think is kind of
I
bizarro.
heard in one of these rooms that Mr. Trudeau paid off a family that he was a teacher, because he used to be a teacher before he ever went into politics, and the type of schools that he taught in were like big money paying schools. So apparently he had a little something with a little girl and paid this family big money to have this story silenced. Like big money.
Surprise, surprise.
Like, is this fucking true or not? I don't know. I just heard it before we got onto this live stream, so I didn't have time to do my research, but it sounds accurate.
Don't you feel like that happens a lot with politicians?
Yeah, it's the norm for them.
Yeah.
Don't get
Well,
it.
let's go after Trump for hush money.
Oh, there you go. Didn't he have? Oh, so someone
But they
can
all do it,
confirm.
right?
There
Yeah.
you go. He confirmed it. Yeah. All right. So it's true, y'all. He's a fucking pedophile.
Who?
Trudeau.
He's
How-
a creepy little worm.
yeah.
He's just a creepy looking little softy. But I felt like they did that with a lot of the world leaders. They all became like 30-year-old men, like Macron, and like really young. Like they were probably little pederastic boys.
Probably. They were taught. You teach these things to kids, and then they themselves become that because it becomes normal. Like, oh, this is a normal fucking thing, huh? And then they do it to other kids, and it's just it got to stop. I don't get the fascination.
Yeah, there's a lot of
So, I don't want to get it.
yeah, there's a lot of
No.
weird stuff that is that's the whole pederast idea, is that there was grown men that they were like, we teach boys how to be good lovers to women one day. And it's like likely story freak show, always with the like the freak show tale, like oh, there's always like some hidden agenda of like creeper.
Yeah.
See, the plus on the end of LGBTQ, I didn't realize that the plus was that.
Mm-hmm.
They
And it's
couldn't wait.
not only that. I went on a rant yesterday. You know, the whole turkey fucking. Like, I'm
Yeah.
just like, okay. I
Oh,
listened.
turkey
We
fucking
talked
now?
about it. We talked about it. I'm just
I remember talking about fish fucking.
fish fucking, turkey fucking. Oh, I forgot the whole fish fucking of it all. I should have mentioned that. I don't understand. I really don't get it. It's like this idea of raping innocents everywhere. Like, I don't understand it. And they say men have self-control, right? They're the protectors. But what do we need protecting from? Men. So it's like, where's the self-control that all these men talk about? But women are the ones who are supposed to say yes and no. And most of the time we'll say fucking no. And if we want to, you'll know. So it's that easy. I don't understand it. It's just bizarre. This perversion lifestyle, this like attracted to children, babies, like
Sheep.
corpses, sheep, fucking fish,
Fish fucking.
pies.
I thought I knew
Food.
everything in conspiracy
They
until
fuck
the fish
food.
fucking
But so do
thing.
women.
Yeah, that just totally
So do
fucked
women.
my head. Like I could have done without the mental image of that.
There's no tree forts anymore. There's no like just place where it's like, nah, we're just goofy here. Like, nah, we just hang out. We're not trying to sleep with you. There's not those clubs anymore. It's all
Yeah.
like a back door into like,
Tunnels.
why does every group want to get me naked? But it is curious when you think we were talking about water and portal and everything, and then like the baptism of it all, like being cleansed and born again through water.
I think so. Now.
Holy water. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
But it is
Like,
holy.
that's what I wanted to say. We have a lot of parents that listen to our shows, and some of them might have kids that in the next year or whatever, and going into school, they might have a science project coming up, and they might be of an age where it's not a goofy, like maybe still for 4th grade, this would be an okay science project. I don't know if I'm misaging. I don't have a clue. For me, it seemed like 3rd grade, 4th grade, maybe, where you do the water science project and you put the plant or the rice in one that says love, and you put it in the one that says hate, and then maybe do a few things. We have digital cameras now in so many ways that you can keep track of it different than when, like, I got to remember every day to take my picture with the Polaroid, and like, oh, the Polaroid didn't turn out that day. You can't really tell, all those silly little things, but it might be really cool just for our show.
Yeah.
So if your kid or you does a cool presentation, so into it, please share. You can drop it in the Project Chaney Telegram, or send it to anyone here on any of their socials, or tag us and put it on your own social.
But back to the whole water and portals of it all, amniotic fluid. Like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, don't they like have to, they save a whole bunch of amniotic fluid to like bring him to life?
I don't know. Tell me about this.
Because amniotic fluid is like, it's weird because when my water broke, they didn't believe me that my water broke. And it's like, no, I'm not sitting here pissing myself. I know it's amniotic fluid, but they had to put it on a slide and everything and look at it under a microscope. And she's like, you need to come look at this.
You
It's
guys,
really
the things
neat.
that Abbie always has to put up with, and she's so reasonable.
Oh my God.
So reasonable and intelligent. And it just, sometimes the things that she has
You
to
wanna
put
hear
up
the
with,
first
and
thing
like
that
when
ever
she tells stories.
Let me tell a
did you
side
see,
story
though?
since you said that.
Wait, what did you
First
see
time-
though under the
Oh,
microscope?
it looks like
Here, I can pull
amniotic
it up.
fluid looks like ferns. It
It's
looks
so pretty.
really fucking, it's really pretty. Like
Really?
yes. So it looks like palm fronds or like ferns. Yeah.
And to tell the other story when I'm finding
Yeah.
this.
Okay, so the other story is the stuff I've had to put up with. My first pregnancy, I was in the Navy, and I don't know if this guy was fucking with me or not, but he said he had to check my tailbone to make sure that was curving right. I was like, "Oh, okay, no problem." I'm thinking that's an external thing. Fucking he's lubing up his hand. I'm not thinking nothing of it. I'm just thinking like it's just so he can touch my tailbone, which you can touch your fucking tailbone. He stuck his finger up my ass. I was like, "Whoa! Oh my God!" I thought I was gonna fucking die. I was like, I was so humiliated at that moment because I wasn't expecting that, So yeah,
You got
shit I've had to deal with.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
it looks like almost like snow.
It's intelligence.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be one of the most expensive fluids on the planet.
Well, and in Frankenstein of it all, when Frankenstein is building the monster, or like creating the monster, he sits there and he attends like all these different births, and he takes the amniotic fluid when their water breaks, and he uses that to put the monster in the amniotic fluid.
Wow.
That's curious.
Who
That's
wants
why
to
they've been
sell their future
collecting that.
amniotic fluid?
Well, they've been collecting it for a long time. It's
Sell it.
everything. It's the umbilical cord. So they've just been collecting that for years. Like, who knows how long they've been stealing that from our moms and us and daughters, and who knows?
Placenta.
Yeah, they could be saving
much
that and
life
trying
is in
to.
it?
They're probably putting a film in it.
God.
That's what Frankenstein is really just them recreating a giant.
I got the
They're like
chills.
telling us that, like, oh, here, look, all we need is a lightning bolt.
No, Riggs, you can't check my tailbone.
I got the chills at how
I won't ever
freaking
fall for that one again.
amazing we are.
Unfortunately, you only fall for that one once.
Yeah.
No one else got the chills? Like, we're incredible species of beings. Like, miraculous, honestly. I don't know how else to explain it. This is fucking wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's wild.
Yellow.
They call
And they
it
call
mellow
yellow fields. You were thinking of Mellow Yellow?
They call
That
it
was my dream name for
mellow.
a dog. I always wanted a yellow dog with a pink nose, and I wanted to name her Saffron.
Oh.
So I could sing, I'm just wild about Saffron, and Saffron's wild about me. But I have a yellow dog with a pink nose, but it's like little. I thought it was going to be a big dog. I didn't specify that in the manifestation or the prayer. So, anyways, what else is happening? Do make sure that you like and subscribe, everybody. I'm such a peddler. Such a peddler these days. Let's put this up because it is 50 minutes until Britney Spears' birthday.
And Abbie's birthday.
Happy birthday, Brittany.
Right? Yeah.
Almost.
Happy birthday, Britney. We have a dance party planned. I
We
hope you
do?
guys are ready to get up.
We're going to do a TikTok video.
Yeah, we have a flash mob planned for you guys. We're going to do it to Kesha. We are who we are. Sorry, Britney. It should be a Britney song, but it's
She
not gonna
rarely
be.
dances to her own music, so we're good.
Layla's just gonna twirl right there in her house. Oh man, yeah. So it just really
Flipping your
seems
hair.
like we used to like live in a world. It just seems like the world we used to think we knew. It used to. It feels like that world everybody knows about it now. Like it's the world everybody's forced. Like we got to wake up to it whenever we felt like it. And they're having to wake up to it, like pieces of it every day. Like it's a forced awakening.
Yeah. They don't get to stay blind.
Or they don't get to take these times in between of like, oh, I just learned about the atrocities of Hunter Biden's laptop. I need a spiritual cleanse. I need to figure out like the power of, my own belief, my own mustard seed. Like I need to figure that. Like no, they're not like the time in all conspiracy equals spirituality eventually. I like conspirituality, but
Yeah.
I just think that they aren't going to get the luxury of doing it at their own pace like we did, or like they're going to be forced to find the biggest mouse talking about it, and like we just got like an organic like turnabout with each other with the algorithm.
And there's some people who, I mean, go so extreme. There's stories on like people who've killed off their entire family just to protect them from what is to come, whatever that was in their head. Like they'll take it to the extreme. So just be kind to yourself. Don't take it like whatever you're researching, you're learning things. Just be kind to yourself. The world is a great place. Don't fall into that gloomy, oh my God, they're lying to us. Don't. Everything's fine. You're fine.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah, it's all right. It's better to see than not see, Be proud
Well, I
of
used to
yourself.
be bummed. Like it used to really bum me out that people close to me where they were like, I don't trust anyone. I don't trust anything or anyone. And I was like, oh, that's a shitty way to look at the world. But you can trust me. But you can trust me. What about me though? Me. What about me? My ego was hurt by it. It hurt my feelings and it had nothing to do with me. And what I realized instead is like all I could do is show up.
Yeah.
And be somebody you can trust. And the only way I can prove you wrong is like I can tell you till the cows come home, but instead I have to show you. And I think that's just kind of this place we're at in life now. Like there's so many people like, I don't know. Did you wear a mask for 2 years? I can't listen to a thing you say the same way as people that didn't. And so there's a lot of those people that I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I think we've just gone through so many psyops after psyops. There's like, I followed a cult for 10 years, or I was in this thing, or I did this. Then it's like, okay, I'm taking what you have to say with a grain of salt here. Like, I still gave my kids every jibby jab. Like, okay, I don't judge you for that. Like, you can only do things with the information that you have, but now you have more information. I hope you make better choices. Like, it hurts my heart every time I find out somebody's knocked around me, because I always like know it's going to come up in my, that I have to have this conversation with them that is so big about everything that has to do with things that I think are just like a like abomination to humanity. And it makes me, like, a lot of the time it's not what anyone wants to hear. They're like, I don't want to talk about this right now. Why couldn't you bring this up at another time? Well, now's the time you're pregnant, so we're here.
It's the only time I got, man.
No, so when I always hear like from the outskirts where it's like, so and so is knocked, blah blah blah, and they're like, oh, she's so organic, like she is gonna have her baby in like the river, like she's gonna have a whole bunch of people wear white around her. You're like, oh, good, I don't have to have a debate with any of my friends. I don't have to send people peer-reviewed studies. So anyways, yeah, there's a lot of that. So I'm always excited. I've had like recently in my life, like beautiful babies be born. And so I'm like so grateful that there is information in Big Mouse and people out there that kept showing up and without their mask on and saying the thing, even if it wasn't uncomfortable, because now there's so much more information that I can find at my fingertips to send people to. Sometimes now I don't have to debate them, but I just get to give them information to kind of validate them. Like, I know groups to find information in that sometimes normies are like, hey, weren't you telling me that thing? Do you have like an article or something on it?
I want people to understand, when you're trying to like give information to somebody and you're just like rejecting them in a way, it's like, we're not trying to kill you. We're trying to like warn you. And you're being, there's people who are like, no, I don't care. Like, I know that the medical field, da, 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 da. I'm like, but really, like, here's the information. I'm handing it to you. Like, read it. They won't read it. They stand their ground. And it's like, nope, I want to give them poison. It's fuck it. You don't know what you're putting in your child, but you're going to do it.
The arguments I had with my kid's doctor, he doesn't argue with me anymore, but he tried to do this whole like, well, there's a whole colony of Christian scientists who didn't get who came down with what's it called, polio, and I was like,
And
I was like, no, go back and read about that. I said they weren't Christian scientists; those are people who had it, and they got now they changed it to polio-like virus because they couldn't say they had polio because they had the.
The cause is in the cure. The smallpox is in the blankets. The smallpox is in the blankets. That's what I feel like with that with the masks. I'm like, the smallpox is in the blankets, all down the beach to the other natives. That's how I think that would have been a good meme.
It is a good meme.
It's like still, in fact, maybe a good meme.
Yeah.
To not have symptoms of something and to get your shit swabbed. Meanwhile, you're fine. You're fine and everything is fine. But they put in your head that, hey, there's no symptoms. You could just pass it to people. And you just, oh, really? Oh, my God. Let me see if I have it. And a lot of them, those tests that we can't say the word, false positives majority of the time because they're not designed to find things like that.
See, this is where I would disagree. I would say it wasn't any false positives. Every single one of those tests were covered in the thing. So when you put it up your thing and incubated it with this thing, you got the thing. So I feel like everybody that kind of stayed healthy, they never put on anything that came on a boat from China. They never wore one of those all the time. And they stayed healthy the whole time. Whereas people that got sick, even if they didn't get jibby jabbed, they had to like put a mask on for work for 8 hours a day and then huff and puff.
DARPA, right? That's the technology that was put into everybody.
Well, that's usually the technology everywhere that everyone wonders. I think you could just say DARPA. We haven't gotten a warning for that yet.
DARPA tech.
Yeah, I
That's
don't think
what
we've gotten
that
a warning for
was.
that yet here. So,
Beautiful.
yeah, make sure you follow the Secret Society of Good Guys on X and Rumble, where they let us say words like DARPA, and we don't have to say jibby jabby or slap ourselves like Michael Jackson in Thriller videos to try to show you what not to do. Anyways, what else is happening in the world on this Sunday evening besides Britney Spears being born and Abbie being born?
What else?
Sorry, Abbie always has to come second to Britney.
Oh, it's Britney.
She understands.
It's Britney,
though.
bitch.
Yeah, she understands. Layla understands.
Mhm.
Like, we love Abbie. She's as high as you can get, but she's not Britney.
Yeah, it's Britney, bitch.
You don't even have to say my birthday after Brittany's birthday every time. It's okay.
No, we can't leave
No
you out.
way.
What the fuck? What you think this
But it's
is?
not that my birthday or Layla's birthday are as important as Brittany's birthday either. Your birthday is actually more important than mine and Layla's
Because
you
you're
throw it
on
in.
the day.
She's on my day. I came first.
It's weird. I think that Brittany's account, we don't really see anything. She posts those weird things. You said she actually posted something today about like yellow.
Yeah.
And so we all wore yellow because Brittany posted it about yellow. And sometimes we like to see if we do things and Brittany posts it. Sometimes we think she likes to see if we do it after she posts it. So today, on Brittany's birthday day, we're yellow fields.
Yellow is not a warning sign.
Remember all the yellow vests right before lockdowns?
The neon
yellow
ones?
vests?
There was like neon yellow vests in UK. Like it was all the same as like it was almost like a patriot movement was happening all over the world. And Hong Kong was all in the streets and the UK was all wearing vests and they were all like standing up against like the corruption and doing all this shit. And it was like all this yellow vest movement right before lockdowns. It was like people were really amped up.
I remember.
So it's not a warning, it's just a shirt? Or it was a warning?
I mean, that's code.
Yeah, that's what Brittany said. I say it's not a warning, just a shirt. Yellow.
But why say that? Like, why even say that? Who was thinking warning?
I feel like it's super interesting. It's like Britney's account to me has always felt more like a Kevin Spacey video. Like he's talking to somebody, he's warning somebody that's not us. He's having a conversation over our head that obviously they're tapping everything he says. They know every email, they know every text, and he knows they know. And so he's warning people by doing a video to everybody, but he has to say it in code.
Yeah.
So he warns them with this. He says, kill him with kindness in the second. And then the third one, he's saying, if you're up against the wall, don't do it. Suicide prevention hotline.
Some people
That's
won't
where my head went when he
understand
said that too.
the Britney Spears of it all, but it's a huge psyop. If you don't know, you're like way behind. So it's a lot to explain, but she's a whole fucking rabbit hole that connects everything to everything. And I personally think she's
I have
the
a Harry
key
Hansen sword.
to why P. Diddy went down, Epstein went down, because she was friends with Rachel Chandler, who was one of the kingpins of finding
Kingpins.
yeah,
Sorry.
kingpins of
such a dick.
finding what's it called? Potential trafficking women. The potential of trafficking women. So she was a part of all of that. So that's why Britney is an important piece of this whole fucking conspiracy world. Mickey Mouse Club and all that. Let them know, Chad. Let them know. School them.
Yeah. It's Spacey, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She told me about it.
I met Britney Spears' good friend. Which one?
We'll see if Becky, Brittany, and Pickle Spears, if it's worth the story. And then if you told Abbie and you want to share, otherwise we'll keep it mum. And that'll be.
It's got to be maybe kept mom. Like she can probably talk about it, but not talk about it, you know?
Okay, heard. That'll be for later conversation about Brittany, bitch. From Brittany, bitch. Anyway. Yeah, I think Britney is a whole rabbit hole. I think the Mickey Mouse Club, the Justin Timberlake, the Michael Jackson connections, the Madonna connections, the Kabbalah, the kiss on the mouth at the Disney or MTV ritual with Madonna being the bride, doing that kind of thing. I think all of the marriages, I think the Vegas, the shaving of the head,
The taking of her blood.
the marrying this dude, this CGI Saudi Arabian guy. I think his sister's crazy. I think down to the Paris Hilton, Drew Barrymore, Donatella Versace, Madonna at her wedding, down to the guy that parachuted into her wedding, to all the CGI stuff that we've all been watching for the last however many years in the same since lockdowns. We've just been watching her in peasant shirts. And even her in peasant shirts were like, this is like Britney from like 2006.
What happened to Britney's ex-husband or whatever? Are they still not? They're not still married, right? She got divorced from that Arab guy.
Or whatever. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
She's back at that fucking house, but I don't know if the divorce is finalized. I could look it up right now.
This is so weird
I
because
always
he
forget
just
I
up
have
and like
this-
disappeared off the fucking face of the news.
Britney Spears.
Earlier, I kept thinking of Drew Barrymore's. I couldn't think of her name. I kept seeing her face, but I kept the name Reese Witherspoon kept popping in my head, and I was like, "What the fuck is that about?"
Asghari
Never
filed
connected
for
those two.
divorce on August 2023, citing irreconcilable differences. They have reached a divorce settlement, and the papers are awaiting a judge final sign off. So not divorced yet. Or were you just talking about Abbie? I'm sorry.
Oh, just Drew. You
Reese
said Drew
Witherspoon.
Barrymore,
Oh,
and I
Drew
could not
Barrymore.
remember her damn name.
She is akin to Britney, or like Justin. A weird thing about certain of these kids in these they're the youngest kid of a group of a whole bunch of kids. And so Drew is akin to that in a lot of way. From E.T., being in that when she's so small, and Firestarter, and being around like Steven Spielberg, people say is hella creepy. And then her mom taking her into like Studio 54 and her doing a whole bunch of drugs, or Anthony Kiedis talking about when he was like 25 years old, hitting on her when she was at the Powerhouse bar in Hollywood, when she's sitting at the bar at like 14.
Her and that girl, what's her name, who was in the Playboy magazine, the model? She's beautiful. I forgot her name.
Brooke Shields.
Yeah.
Mm.
Same.
Yeah, Brooke Shields, because she was pretty baby. So she was on shows with like George Burns, like a bunch of old men, and she always played like a young runaway. And then she was also on Blue Lagoon, which I feel like it's pretty much two
Full
naked
vagina.
kids frolicking around an island.
I
Like,
couldn't believe I saw her full vagina on that. I was like, "What the fuck?" Like swimming in
as
the
a young
water.
kid.
Her mother allowed that. That says a lot about her mother.
But
Yeah.
if you also look at all of these kids, every single one of them hung out with Michael Jackson. Like a big deal one time. I don't remember if it was the Grammys or Oscars, but Michael Jackson took Brooke Shields, and it was like
Yeah.
a black guy is taking a white girl, but it was Michael Jackson, so it was fine. But it's weird that it's Brooke Shields. I didn't even think of that till now. But and you were also saying that, let's look this up while you're here. This is something so interesting because I'm obsessed with Princess Diana. So you were telling me about Dode Fayette's dad.
Yep.
So let's see. 6 days ago, the DOD, come on, ads.
They're accusing him of being a monster
Um,
after he died. Really? Really? The motherfucker who called out the royal family. Suck my dick.
DOD reveals first draft of $15 billion art. No, what is that? Weird. That's creepy. Speaking of, how did that even? Dode Fayette.
We were talking about the Epstein files or something. No, he's saying that he was worse than Epstein.
September 28th. Okay, this is it. Princess Diana was warned Al Fayed was sleazy villain before she met his son Dode. Dodi, friend, and you guys, this is also their relation is to Jamal Khashoggi, he was like a New York Times reporter. He did other stuff, but he was found cut to pieces in an embassy by, they think, the House of Saud, like the prince maybe. This is like a whole big thing, but Princess Diana was told Mohammed Al Fayed was sleazy before she holidayed at his villa in the south of France in the summer of 1997 and embarked on a fateful romance with his son Dodi. Diana and Dodi were both killed in a Paris car crash in August 1997, and his father was extended great sympathy and mourned the loss. But I know the dad is still a big like loudmouth that the royals killed them.
Yep. And now they're saying that he's the biggest rapist, like harmful to women, all these things. And I highly doubt that because Diana had good judgment of character. Really good judgment of character, I think.
Well, and he's speaking against the royal family, so are we
Like,
surprised
what
here?
story are we going to believe here?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of crazy. It makes me not akin, but kind of. You know, the whole Conor McGregor thing going on right now
hmm
in Ireland, which, uh, you know, everybody's like, oh, he obviously did it. He's a cokehead. Look at him. But
I
he
believe it.
also was going to run for politics in Ireland. And Ireland's have it like the same way as so many countries where it's just like socialism versus whatever the ism is that's trying not to be taken over by like a communism left, like whatever. And so I don't know the whole story, but it does seem like the news, and in Ireland they have different rules where they can't just necessarily tell you things unless somebody is like, if the case is happening, like it has to actually happen, like the police have to like be like, all right, Layla, this shit's going down. It can't just be because Chaney said some shit about you, the newspapers get to know. Like it has to go all the way to this point. So this is like a case from like 2018, and you know, I don't know. It's just curious. Like, did he get everything? All his money and all his wealth and all his things because he played perfect ball, or did he get too big? And you're not allowed to get too big without them. It's like, so I'm trying to watch the story because I know it's only the information they give me. And it's still like we're watching it through the eyes of like their BBC, their CNN, their Fox, whatever their thing is. So it's just curious that you're seeing certain posts go up and then down, and that where it's just a whole soap of like, oh, all the money in the world.
It's just funny that is happening after he dies. Like, the man can't even, like, defend
Oh,
himself.
for Dode Ifayette
Uh-huh.
or his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So it's a
But
known
people
fact, and
believe
you
it.
let him freaking live without any indictment or anything like that?
That's just shameful at this point. Like, you killed Diana, supposedly. There was just a weird conspiracy around that to begin with. Like the car they went into and the car that crashed, different license plates. I don't know. Did you guys see that conspiracy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Did they really die? I don't know.
I don't know. Some people, like, I think it's interesting that certain people had paparazzi following them around all the time. And we're under the impression that, like, oh, it's because we sell papers. No, they have publicists. Like, they have people that are like, oh, this person needs to have their name keep in the light. Like, we need to sell a narrative to this person. So make sure you get these pictures. But it also seems like a way you could keep people very safe, following him with cameras, that and guns and motorcycles. And so a lot of people like Martin Luther King or a lot of these deaths that they were alive when they were at the scene. Princess Diana is one of those cases that she was alive at the scene. People are like, I think there's video of her moving or like pictures that you could probably find still. Curious.
I don't know.
Curious case, and then we're all the way here with the Harry and the Meghan of it all, which are like this soap opera ad on Oprah.
Yeah.
Oh, Oprah. Ooh.
I can't wait to see her go
Oh, that
down.
bitch.
She
Yeah.
wasn't best friends with John of God for no reason. Makes me crazy. And she had a school in Africa, and then John of God gets busted for having baby factories, and she's best friends with him. Okay. All right.
Hmm.
Oprah doesn't have baby factories.
What about that guy who's
Oprah's favorite things this Christmas aren't baby factories.
Mm.
And even that, I was under the impression, like when I was a little shit kid, oh, look, Oprah's telling us her favorite things. I didn't think I was watching a big fucking commercial. I didn't think I was watching an ad. Anyways, what's going on back there, Layla?
Oh no, nothing. Sean
Okay.
Penn. I was gonna bring up Sean Penn too, with going to Africa or Haiti, whatever. And
Oh,
being,
Haiti.
yeah, like
And getting involved in El Chapo. What?
Yeah.
Sean Penn helped capture El Chapo? It's like they always tell us it's like the same way as Dennis Rodman going to North Korea. What? What? It's like we all need to know who El Chapo is, and we're not going to pay attention unless they need a main character to put by him.
Yeah.
And Tom Hanks is
They're
out,
all
so
they're all on Hollywood Island, just chilling.
What is El Chapo known for?
Cocaine.
Digging tunnels.
Oh, that too.
So here's this dude that's digging tunnels, and he's known for this, and he can get out of everywhere with his tunnels, and he's just smuggling drugs, not ever humans. Sure, Jan.
Definitely humans.
Yeah, that's always. So I don't
mean,
know.
There's this whole story about how these 5 people went to fucking Mexico somewhere, and one of the girls went to the bathroom just at the restaurant right behind them. You know how they have restaurants on the beach, and they're all hanging out on the beach. She goes to the bathroom, 10 minutes pass by, she still doesn't come. They go check on her, she goes missing. Days go by, cops don't help, nobody helps, and so they're like, okay, we give up, we need to go to the embassy and find out what happens. So they put in a report in, and they start to, pass the border, drive back, go towards the border. One of the people in the car look over, and they see, I guess it was the boyfriend, saw his girlfriend in another car with shades on. So they report to the authorities, hey, my girlfriend's in that car, she's not moving, we need to get her out of that car, she's been missing for days, here's the reports. So they stopped that car. That girl's fucking dead. What they found out, what they did to her, they gutted her open, took out her organs, and fucking filled her
organ
up
harvesting.
with fucking drugs. This is the type of shit we're dealing with, y'all. Like, no, I could post this video, but I will get fucking banned permanently.
Well, this is the whole story
actual
of
shit.
that what they were doing with coffins. Like that's the whole story of like the coffins going into
the coffins and stuff.
No, well that too, but I think that's a good way to smuggle humans out as well. But like Barry Seal, like all of the soldiers and stuff that were coming back, they could just fill some of the coffins with drugs, and no one in customs was opening every coffin to make sure there was a soldier in there. So, or they could have the coffins lined with drugs, so they would just have the dead body in there.
So annoying. Like, and you see these mothers mourning over their dead children's bodies who fought for this country, and they're like smuggling drugs in.
Dude, my
The
daughter
government
was
does
at
it.
the local Walmart like 2 nights ago. Her and her friend, they went. And she ends up FaceTiming me. She's like, I'm freaking out right now. I was like, why? She's like, this older woman came up to me. She's like, and I saw her kind of like looking at Riley. So I thought it was Riley's grandma. That's her friend. Okay. So anyway, she's like, I thought it was her grandma. She's like, because she said something to her. But then she's like touching me and like asking me about this game and if I played it. And she's like, oh, I've never played it myself. She's like, so she leaves. And then she looks at her friend and she's like, do you know her? And she goes, no, I thought you knew her. Like this woman just totally was all over them, like up on them, touching them and stuff. And I was like, she's like, I need you to stay on FaceTime till we leave. It's like, yeah, well, she just got pepper spray too. I was like, just kind of keep that handy. So
Mm.
I've had somebody walk up to me like that, where the person that I knew was watching the thing from the far, and they were like, "I just thought you knew them." And I was like, "I never seen that person before in my life."
Yeah, what the fuck?
Like,
Well,
where
it
they just
happens
come
in this
right up to you, direct energy. They feel like they have like, it's you in this port. I just walked through a portal. Here you are. I have a message to relay, and I'm out. You're like, oh fuck.
it happened this other time at the same Walmart with my son when he was, like, 10 years old. And it was this woman in her 20s, and we were checking out, and she kept looking at him really weird. Like, she was interested in him. And she's like, "Well, I'm staying at the hotel over there." And then she kept, like, telling him how cute he was. And I was like, "What the fuck is going on here?" So we were both weirded out bad when we left, like, but
I always get
there's a
sick
huge
going into
mental
fucking
hospital
Walmart.
here. Like, they used to do lobotomies and stuff way back in the day, but now it's for the criminally insane, so they usually get released, and then a lot of them end up staying here, so you never know.
Yo, every time I walk into a Walmart,
Look
I
at
get
this. All hail Zaralath.
Hey, Sarah Lath, we haven't seen you in a long time.
Okay, sorry to interrupt.
every time I walk into a Walmart, I get physically ill, and it feels like, I mean, every single fucking time I walk into a Walmart, I feel like I
Me
am
too. This is
there
what I
and
feel like I
everyone
see. This is what
ev
I feel like I see, though. But this is what I see, but this is what it is.
Well,
But I see it. I can't it's the lights, but I see
yeah.
them, and it fucking gives me the worst headache.
But during COVID, we didn't shop at Walmart at all. We would not go in there. Like, me and my daughters, we all felt freaking weird about it. Like, it just had such a low vibe. We're like, it feels okay now. Like, it just feels like freaking Walmart, but like, which is already a low vibe. But I'm just saying it was bad. There was really bad energy happening there for a while.
Yeah, it feels like I walk in through a portal, and I feel like everyone is not a real human, and I feel like they all have, like, they look at me with, like, Agent Smith eyes. That's how I feel. Like, I've walked into a weird portal. These people are not real. They're part of the simulation. I get physically fucking ill every time I fucking step into that store, to the point where I want to vomit. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck it is. Walmart, some kind of spell, maybe the shape of the building. I don't know what they're spraying in there, but it's a portal.
You know how, like, we don't even have, like, springs in our mattresses. There's nothing. There used to probably
Mhm.
be springs. They probably grounded us out too, having that
Mm.
metal somewhere,
Yeah.
and it was fabric, like probably cotton or something like the thing we're made out of. And then over time, if you got a mattress, they were like, make sure you open that and let it stay outside your house for like 3 days, because the poison on it from the fire retardant is. And so I think fire retardant, like, there used to be fires everywhere.
Makes
Things
you
used
retarded.
like retarded. You detarded. You need to be
You need to detard it. Yeah.
yeah, like, but it's just like it just seems like chemicals that we're laying on, and you used to lay on these springs and like kind of ground out. But I think Walmart, essentially every single thing in the store is covered in some kind of chemical that's just airing and leaching out into the warehouse that was set up with the intention of being a FEMA camp. So
Mm,
it's
Yeah.
just like, of course it feels gross. It
mhm.
should. Like, your human animal
So
is
low
like,
vibe.
yeah, you should not wanna be in there.
Yeah, it's probably my body rejecting it. Like, I
That's
get
why I always do
physically ill.
I
Oof.
always do pickups. If I could do a Walmart pickup, that's what I'm gonna do instead of actually going inside one.
I think every town, there is, like, some kind of warehouse somewhere, and, like, now because of social media and shit like that, we don't need to it's like, "Oh, I have to have the yellow pages, I have to be right off a main road, I have to pay for all this stuff," but they need to, like, rent spaces in that, because the weather isn't always permissible in other states like Florida. Because I just feel like one of the key things I live on is farmers markets. Like, I think it's still
Yeah,
affordable shit, it's
great.
so good, I feel like luxury, everything I get to have with that, like, if I make a grilled cheese with the tomato from the farmer's market,
Yeah.
like, and so I try to go to the farmer's market all the time. I don't get my produce or anything from the grocery and stuff like that. So I understand that some places can't have that year round, but if there was a warehouse area and you could rent sections out, so a whole bunch of different farmers could go there and rent the section and do it, and it was just open certain hours. And I just think it would be such a great idea, because people don't need to grow everything. Sometimes you just grow a lot of
Yeah.
one thing.
Florida
Yeah.
has lots of farms. I was surprised. I'm like,
Yeah, it's
ooh,
awesome.
lots of farms here.
I know
And
a
on
lot
the
of
side
people
of the
tell
road,
their,
you're
like,
just driving and you're like, oh, fresh fruit, fresh this, fresh that. Here, pick. And it's just like, love it.
ranchers will sell their beef and all of that, like, at farmers markets here. That's
Mm-hmm.
the one cool thing. So you get like good quality beef that hasn't been
Grass
sent
fed
to
beef.
commercial feedlots
Yeah.
and pumped with a whole bunch
Milk,
of shit.
like non-processed milk, like actual fucking milk, like that creamy stuff that I can't drink though. I
That
can't
is
drink it.
exactly what Walmart's like.
I can't drink it.
Mhm.
Bach Precision, like how cows get agitated as they approach the butcher.
Mm,
Like, even if they never seen it, they never been there. It's like
They can
100
sense
monkeys
it.
in them.
yeah,
Yeah.
something about it.
And I like the idea. I think it was Lindsay from Roadways that's like told me this kind of idea of like sometimes events happening in time that they make a ripple effect and it goes in every direction. It's not just forward. It's not
Yeah.
like just backward. It's every
through.
direction. Like it's encompassing. So sometimes when energies are in a thing, it doesn't matter if you believe in the thing. If enough other people on the planet believe in the thing, there's a ripple effect energy of the thing. And so like bad, good, indifferent, whatever that is, and just Walmart's in general, like some of the soul they ripped out of every one of the
Yeah.
nostalgia, the jobs, the skilled trades. Because right along with Walmart's came like Home Depot and Lowe's and every
Mhm.
other box store and IKEA.
And then
I wish
every
IKEA was
chain
called
chain
IKEA.
restaurant, like, it's
I
all
hate any IKEA furniture that I have in my house. I despise it. It's like a space to put better things.
I can't believe what a fucking hell IKEA store is.
Oh my
That
gosh, and people are like, "Oh my god, I love IKEA."
I'm like, "Are you kidding me? It took me 2 hours to get out of the fucking store."
And there's
Brittany
no other
posted.
way out.
There's no other way out. I was pregnant and miserable, and I did not wanna walk through that
Don't
fucking
even
store.
try to lay down on that bed.
Ugh,
Brittany posted.
can't find a fucking bathroom
What did
either.
Brittany post? It's not even time yet. It's 11:47. Read it,
Fragility.
Layla.
It just says fragility.
Fragility.
And it's like
Agility.
this girl glowing like yellow gold.
Nope. You're
Oh,
yellows.
well,
Of course she does
there
it so
you
we
go.
can't see it because your background's yellow.
Yeah. They call it mellow yellow.
Okay, so she's into the yellow phase, but isn't like isn't there a letter associated with the color yellow?
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, like a letter.
Yeah, I think it's like how everything has a thing. Like I thought yellow was associated, but maybe I'm not. Is there like maritime for it? I could look all this stuff up. I always forget I have a magic box in
So
front of
weird.
me.
The yellow
1047.
the yellow cube or the yellow box, right? Or whatever. What was it called?
The gold cube,
The thing that Hillary Clinton was like, not Looking Glass. It was the
golden cube, I think.
golden cube.
I think so. Where it was like her backdoor key to the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's-
weird.
Come on, the
Yesterday,
yellow box, golden cube, whatever.
Hey, you know that yellow box over there?
Yeah, that one.
That's how you call Asians from a construction yard.
Okay.
With a mustache on. If you wore a mustache, you'd be like, "Hey, look at that nice yellow box over there."
Oh my god.
you know what's interesting? Yesterday, I was scrolling through TikTok and this guy was playing the piano and he's like, "Guess what color this sounds like?" I'm like, "That's fucking interesting." So he starts playing. I'm like, first thought, yellow. And everyone in the comments like yellow, 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 yellow. It just sounded like fucking yellow. And then they have these autistic kids who are like very in tune. I guess they have this special quality of hearing colors and seeing colors in different spectrums with numbers and numbers associating with colors. And it's just so fucking mind blowing that you can hear the sound of yellow.
Well, when I did like Reiki sessions with my mentor before like I learned it, like actually I'd already learned it, but I would do sessions with him, and every time like we would go back into the past, whether it was like my past or like one of my ancestors past or whatever, like every single time I would feel a certain color around the person or around the memory, and by the time we were done the color would change too. And he had never experienced that with anybody else. Like I would just explain the situation and the color that was associated with it, and he was like, you've changed the way I've done healings now, because now I'll ask people about color. And it's like, but
I believe
color
that.
always had a feeling.
Aren't
Yeah,
we like light
see,
bodies of
Yeah.
color and light spectrum?
Oh yeah, Yellow Submarine. That would be my yellow song.
Yellow
What song
Submarine.
is that? Yellow
Yeah.
Submarine.
Of course, you'd go with an MI6 song.
Oh, I used to have all the figurines.
Yellow Submarine.
Mhm.
Yellow Fields, I liked more as an adult, but then it made sense. Like the older I got, the more I liked that song. But then it makes sense because that's such a VH1 song.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Look at the stars. Look how
Since
they
we're talking
shine
about
for
color,
you. Yeah.
someone asked this intelligent question. Not intelligent, but a weird
Uh-oh.
question that blew my mind. Like,
Okay.
imagine snow not being white, but black. How fucking bugged out would that look?
Well, aren't our eyes like
Well,
cameras? So what, like we
Just
like, do you remember the
imagine
old
that.
film rolls? What is it? Like the inverse, everything's inversed.
Uh-huh.
So if our eyes are actually just like a camera and it's like does the refraction, then wouldn't it kind of be that way?
Holy
Wouldn't
shit, it
snow actually
would.
be black?
But imagine seeing snow falling at the middle of the night and black and everything's covered in this like blackness,
like a
like
volcano
soot.
ash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's creepy. That's fucking
That's what
creepy.
some people like think like black and white came from some kind of apocalyptic event, mud flood, something, plasma storm, whatever, but everything was covered in kind of an ash and in cold places ash and snow, and everything was dead, so it was just like a stick world, and so it created like a black and white world. And as all the dust settled and the sun came through after like the great winter was over, let's say, and the sun started to come through, it started to do this like rust colory sky,
Mm,
and so it gave it like a sepia tone look.
mm.
And so there wasn't a bunch of color until like this, whatever this atmosphere is that's on us now, that like the way the sun comes through
Wow.
this, that's the only reason we see blue now is because we have this like white, yellow
Light.
light, whatever.
Mhm.
And so just a different color light source could change the way everything looks. So other people say like when the rivers run red like blood, like as a prophecy, is just like even in ways of like red Kachina, blue Kachina, like in a great star. If a star exploded like Sirius and it didn't give off a white light, but a blue, that let's say it took 50 billion years to get here, whatever the story is of that light to reach here. But by the time it did, it lasted here for 3 weeks. Would that radiate a different color that would make all of our blue water look red?
Hmm.
Then I
Yeah.
wonder the whole story of like how they
Makes sense.
created man, and it's the story of clay. But when you look at the different types of colors of clay, you'll have darker clay, which black clay, you'll have which is in Petra, you'll have red clay,
Yeah.
um, brown clay, you'll have all the spectrum. It's almost like you said, Chaney, we are all the color orange, just a different spectrum of
That's so
orange.
interesting, all the different color clays, but then it's like once you get to like really light, like the lighter, like whiter sand, it has like less nutrients in it.
Hmm. Albino?
Yeah, and it makes me like think of melanin. Like
Yeah.
like the
Oh,
richer soil, the blacker the soil.
Like Oprah's
Actually,
still in Africa and the Haiti of it all and the
yeah, but or even in the idea of like the Amazonian overflowing. And so all of the black gold back then was the super rich soot fertilizer that they would like pull out. So it's like even that idea of like black being like this richness of,
yeah.
nutrients almost.
Well, they found this clay in Petra, and it's made up of what the mineral structure of a human is made of. It has all the minerals, like exact to the T, and they sell it in Petra, and it's very, very healing clay. So apparently, this clay does exist of like the creation of human. It's like physically there, but can we replicate that? Absolutely not, because we're not the Almighty there, whatever you want to call it. But I don't know. It's just a interesting idea with the multicolored clays.
And somebody was talking about the tar. Like when I was a kid, you guys, you used to be able to walk the coast here. I cannot explain to you how much tar there used to be on the coast.
Really?
All the time. And my brother tells me now because, we know enough like real life treasure hunters, like it's what they do for a living. They find all like really great treasure inside the tar,
Hmm.
in the shoreline and shit.
What the fuck?
Isn't that weird? It's like
So the tar is like
it's
attracted to like metals and shit.
I have no idea. Or it just catches it and it sticks to it. So because the gold coins are so light and the silver usually deteriorates so quick.
Maybe the tar is an intelligence just like water.
Well, it's like when Abbie brought up the blob the other day. It made me think of this tar too. Like it used to be everywhere. But I don't see it as much.
Anything's
But then
fucking
when
possible.
people talk about like Vril and stuff, it's
Mhm.
always like this black ooze. And it always makes me think of like that childhood tar and how
Mm.
you'd get it on you and you were like, dear God, you'd
Yeah.
almost rather have it been a bite because it was like worse. It was like doo-doo on you and it was not easy to get off. It was like the worst. It was tar.
Yeah. Paint
How
thinner didn't even
weird
help at
in the
times.
Yeah, but
water.
sometimes you just be at the beach, like, the same way you might accidentally get stung by a jellyfish, and you would step in, like, tar, and you'd get out, and your whole heel would be like a tar.
Oh, is that where Tar Heel came from?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe. You're wel Make sure you like and subscribe for more of these mind-blowing revelations on Sunday night, ladies' night,
Yes, the
where
tar
ladies
is.
smoke free, and it is 4 minutes until
Da,
Brittany's
da, da, da.
Abby's birthday time.
It was weird too because I was thinking while you were talking about all of that, like the nutrients in like white versus black or whatever. But then I was thinking about like it took me to Egypt because the mummification process, like they take natron. I had to look up the word. It's this stuff called natron. They take it out of the water from like the Nile and like the lakes and stuff, and they pack the mummies with it. But it's white. I think it's like a salt, but it's to remove all the water from the body. So like a 160-pound man would end up weighing like 74 pounds. So
Damn.
it actually removes the nutrients.
Huh. Oh, excuse me. Interesting. There's something interesting, especially with Petra. Like the Islamic world need to wake up. They don't even know where the original Kaaba is. They talk about the Elephant Mountains. The Elephant Mountains are all around in Petra, the three daughters of Allah. God forgive me. I'm not saying that you should worship these idols. Don't want to offend anybody, excuse me. But at the same time, I really don't give a shit. Believe how you want to believe. But everything's there. The cave is there. The first Kaaba's there. Is right next to Abraham's temple. It's right there. The square cube still exists to this day. The cave where he received revelation is there. Like it's all there. But everyone's brainwashed today. So eventually they will see the truth. But the hadiths got them all fucked up. So
That's just one of the books. That's why it's like this battle too,
there's
where you
tons of
think it's like
hadiths.
you want to read everything, but it's almost like the books are the same as the television in so many ways. Because what does it take to be published? And now people can self-publish, like they can podcast.
Well,
And
I'm listening to The Alchemist again, a book, okay? But the part
Abby
that
is
just stood out
obsessed
to me
with The
today, I
Alchemist
am.
again,
It's so fucking good.
but it's
But
The Alchemist again.
again, um, but one of the things that the part I was just listening to today was that the key to alchemy and pretty much everything could be written on an emerald tablet. So all the books don't fucking matter. Like you don't even have to those don't matter. That's all just bullshit that was added. If it was so simple that it could be written on an emerald tablet, like you don't need the books.
Yeah. Because you have the proof. It's right in front of you.
Look
Yeah.
at this though, because it's almost time. Dee 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 dee.
Happy
So we just have to wait.
birthday to you.
I wish it was a whole one, but it probably breaks it up in a way so we don't get pulled off the U to the tube. It's probably just like 4 happy birthdays. It's not going to take all night, you guys.
It's not, I promise.
It's just Brittany, bitch.
But it's important.
It matters. I don't know why it matters.
Get over it.
I better start
But-
a post so I could tag her in it and put the time as 12:02.
I'm not
Oh,
waiting
7.
until 12:02 though.
Well, yeah, I can't anyway because it's 11. My time.
Happy birthday.
There, that's it. That's a good cut. And how dare they try to show me Avril Lavigne?
Avril Lavigne. I like that.
It might come up soon.
I
It
bet
might come
will.
up soon.
That was very clever.
I was hoping I was going to hit 3.
I can't even take credit for that one.
Mm.
I can't take credit for that one, but thankfully, probably who would take credit isn't watching. He's busy doing a podcast. Just
Who?
kidding. Thomas.
Oh, Thomas.
I think Thomas came up with a Avril Lavigne.
Riggs, they never found the Emerald Tablet because you have to be an alchemist. You discover it pretty much. You discover the Emerald Tablet as part of the whole like Philosopher's Stone of it all.
I wonder if, because we heard about like the Ark of the Covenant, the Spear of Destiny, and then I think it is very curious that the World War II kind of it all is where we get this for whatever reason, the Nazis were looking for these relics and also alien technology. And so people like debate sometimes about the things being like one or the other exists, but never the like, what if they both do? Because aren't there all the paintings of Michelangelo and stuff, and like in the Sistine Chapel, people are like, "Here's the UFOs in it."
Yeah.
And then they say a lot of other religions on the planet, they wouldn't be as offended by UFOs as sometimes Christians, the modern churches have perceived their Bible, that they would be offended by it.
Man.
But a lot of modern Christians, they're like, I don't care if there's UFOs. Like it's the enemy mind idea with like Lou Gossett Jr. and Dennis Quaid, where it's like, even if they're on another planet, they could believe in the same one God you believe in.
Didn't they talk about some kind of strange beam of light that came upon Jesus's birth? And it's like, some speculate that it was like a spacecraft that like shined upon the whole situation that was happening because it was some kind of like alien intervention, whatever was happening, and not like God, but God in a sense. I don't know how to explain it, but like an alien abduction.
Like what if the magi of it all did, like now it's become magic. But what if then it was like specifically something with Zoroastrians and how well they knew the stars by what elements would work under said stars. And so the like 3 kings, like they knew exactly like where Christ was going to be born. They showed up with gold and frankincense and myrrh.
Strange. Even in that show,
myrrh, they showed up with seawater.
I believe in the show The Chosen, it shows that beam of light coming at the moment of his birth too. If you guys peeped that or not, I've watched it. It's a good show. But yeah, there's a beam of light that looked like fucking something came and just, alien life form. That's what it looked like to me.
I've seen UFOs more than once.
If
Stuff I can't explain. I've seen a cloak ship where it was like holographic. It almost looked like the movie The Predator, where it was like, you know how you can see the predator in the woods, but it was like
you could see the rib-like things.
Yeah, like that's what I felt like. Like it was wrapped with invisibility cloak, putting a mirror behind it, but it still didn't look smooth in my eyeballs.
Weird.
And I wouldn't have seen it at all, but there was like low hanging clouds. And I wouldn't even probably say it now, but I was with 3 other people and we all saw it.
Yeah.
So it was like one of those things where everybody saw it and it was just how long you saw it.
Mhm.
Like, I saw it right when it came through that or it because it was so, like and it almost made an you know how I was saying you can see the way Walmart sounds? Like, it
Mhm.
almost did that.
Yeah. But you feel a sense of, like, not panic, but calmness. Like, "Whoa."
This was a different one, and then I've seen one that was super fast moving, and I say it was like I don't know if it was a connected triangle or if it was 3 separate ships flying in a triangle formation, but it wasn't lit up. The weirdest part about it is it was like and I always explain it like a ping pong ball because it was, like, absorbing the ambient light. It wasn't lit up. It was, like, flat, and it was just so white, but it was picking up so it looked like it was lit up, but it was so close. We were actually laying on the roof looking at stars.
Damn.
It was like one of those things where it's like every time I sit and I'm like, "Oh, the dolphins. Like, they like this. I'm gonna put on Freebird for the dolphins." That's where I feel like sometimes in my head with lights in the sky.
I hate when someone says, "Oh, no, that's just a satellite."
When we were at Brohemian Grove, remember that guy? He I guess he has a podcast about something about aliens. Anyway,
Dude,
he sat there with his, like, green laser pointer, he points it up at the sky, all of a sudden there's this
randomly,
yeah, just randomly
randomly,
freaking
he's
puts
like,
it up
"Watch
there,
this." Boom, and then all of a sudden this fucking light appears, and
and it
he starts
freaking moves
chasing
for
the
a little
fucking
while, then it was gone. Yeah.
and I'm like, "Yo, are you
So it wasn't an
Pleiadian?"
airplane, it wasn't a meteor, it was, like it
He
was
looks
something.
Pleiadian. What was his
Yeah.
name?
I don't remember. Just long
Yeah.
hair and
Long
touches.
blondish hair, right? Wasn't it blondish? Yeah, blue eyes. I'm like, he is Pleiadian.
Yeah.
If that's a thing for real. I don't know.
Do you have any goals for your birthday this year?
No. Get the fuck out of this house, sell my house? Yes.
Happy birthday, Abbie.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday.
We love you so much.
Move into my new place, start my new life.
I love
Happy
it.
anniversary. I heard people start saying that. Like,
I'd
they're
rather it
like,
be an
I'm not gonna
anniversary.
call it my birthday anymore. I'm gonna call it, like, my life
Happy
anniversary.
anniversary.
I wasn't born today. You know?
I don't want to
You
celebrate
only
my
have one
birthday
birthday.
anymore. I'm just like so over it.
It's a
How
spell.
You know
It's
what
a
I realized about your birthday?
mine?
And this is what no, just everybody's.
Oh,
Because I've been a person my entire life that I hated my birthday. And now I suck it up. And people tell me, like, I saw a video of you at like a restaurant and a whole bunch of people were singing happy birthday to you on Facebook. And I'm like, I wouldn't know. Not on Facebook. But my
safe
mom
guy.
probably has 10 Facebook accounts because someday she forgets different passwords or on a different computer and she doesn't care. So she
uh-huh.
just follows all her friends from like I'm like, "Mom, no one wants 10 versions like, no one wants that. They don't want that. They just want one page
Uh,
of like, she doesn't
I
care.
feel her though, like remembering all these fucking
But she
passwords.
just literally doesn't care.
Mm,
But I just
Mhm.
feel like your birthday is not about you as much as allowing other people to celebrate you.
Yeah.
That's, like, the biggest thing about your birthday, and so it's really humbling even though it's the opposite of what it's like you think it's egoic because 'cause you're like, "Hey, pay attention to me, it's my birthday." But it's, like, allowing other people to pay attention to you and be like, "I love you so much. I just wanna swing something by, like, I was thinking about you." Like,
but it's your
that's
mom too.
It
It's
is
the
it's
day for your
Mother's Day.
mom
Yeah, it
because
is.
she had
That's
to
the real
like
Mother's Day.
you're going through like you're going through the pain that no one on this planet could tolerate but a mother because of that love. Apparently,
Well,
I don't
and
know.
then the love manifests, you already love your baby while it's in utero, but it's so different the second they're born. So it's like I always celebrate for myself on my kids' birthdays because that's the day that I became their mother, you know. So
Yeah,
I really do think that's the real Mother's Day of
I
it all.
think yeah,
It's your kid's birthday. But
each day.
like I don't know. My birthday, I've always for my mom died when I was 16, so today's the anniversary. Like today here is the anniversary of my mother's death. She died the day before I turned 17. So, like, I was supposed to go pick out her casket on my birthday and everything, like, just fucked up shit. So I cried every year on my birthday for years and years and years. Like it wasn't on the day she died; it was always the day after. But Like, I've been okay the past couple of years, but this year I felt dark all freaking week. So, but I feel like it's the new moon of it all too. So it's not that, like, and it's weird because it's not grief. Like I've grieved my mother, but
A
I just feel like
longing.
like it's a ripple effect. Like I just
It's
the energy is
missing
here.
them.
A
Yeah,
longing.
It
Yeah.
is. You just miss them.
yeah.
And that's okay.
And
They're
it's like
allowed to.
I've never kept track of how many years it's been. So I finally did that in my head today. I was like, I wonder how long it's been since fuck, she's been dead for 28 years now.
Mm.
So it's wild.
I know when
Yeah.
people ask and you're like, I have no idea. And you feel like
Yeah.
coarse or cold, but you're
Yeah.
like, I
It's
don't know. It was such a blur then.
Yeah, exactly, and it's not something I
Part of
really
the
care to keep
healing
track
is
of.
something that it like it didn't it's like it got a little blurrier. My
Yeah,
feelings got more like crystal clear about the whole thing, but the emotion of the actual death of it all, it's like, oof. Sometimes I go back to certain parts of it and I'm like, oh gosh, remember when we went through that? I forgot that phase.
I
And
hate
so
death. I can't handle it. I
it's a
hate
lot.
approaching people with death. Someone who died in their family, it's hard for me to reach out to people. It's a PTSD of mine that it's like I don't think I could ever get
I am
past.
weird about it too, and it's not because,
Mhm.
like, part of me feels like, I don't know. I feel really cold to it, which is fucked up, but I mean,
Same.
it's almost like, I've experienced it enough like that, like, s I'm sorry you're taking it so hard, I get it, but, part of me is also like, "Dude,
Stop
been
hurting
there, done that."
yourself.
Yeah,
You're
um,
hurting yourself. Stop hurting yourself.
yeah, I am kinda cold.
Yeah.
But then the other part is I had so many random fucking strangers come up to me, people that I'd never talked to, like, "If you ever need somebody to talk to, if you ever need somebody to talk to," I'm like, "Why would I ever talk to you about this? I don't know you." Like,
Yeah.
so I
But
don't
maybe it's
like
just
like,
like an angel sent thing for the
it's
moment.
sweet, like, I get the whole idea of it, but so
Mm,
I don't like to reach out to people because,
same.
like, I'm not gonna say something like that to you, which almost is, like, insulting in a way, like
Yeah, it's for
I'm
me, it's
like
like there's
awkward a
nothing
lot
you
of the
could
time
say.
with feelings and with all the like things that go through normal life. I'm not good at that stuff sometimes. But for some reason, like the darker, like the death side, I am the friend that will reach out. Like, I don't care. I'll sit
Yeah,
with you. I'm up weird hours. Like I'm gonna
like,
harass you then.
I
Like
used to, I
if
I
can't.
will, but I'm not gonna be the one who's like,
I tell my friends,
"If
I'm
you
like,
wanna
"You're gonna
talk
have to
about it,"
start
like,
sleeping with your phone on silent," because sometimes I know, like, I'll just reach out to you. Like, I'm
yeah,
kind of it's because death is such a weird, you don't know where the hole is that will lie in somebody else's life from what they're missing. And so it's like some of the unworked out stuff is the stuff that you're like, it comes out in all these other places because you really can't find the words for it. But sometimes just hearing someone out and like hear
Yeah.
like, where you're like, "I hear you." Like, there's so much trauma that comes from a lot of the relationships, and you're never gonna get, like, validated or, closure in any
yeah,
kinda way, and you just have to make peace with that, and, but sometimes you still need to be heard. I'm just not I don't know,
I
but
guess
I,
in
like,
different
lack
types of deaths too, because how, when you're waiting for someone, you see them, they're slowly dying, and you know that they're gonna die. But then when you have a death that just comes out of nowhere and it's
sudden, yeah,
unexpected, and it's not supposed to happen, that's like a different type of grief that you don't. Anything that anyone said to me, it's like I don't want to fucking hear your fucking mouth. I don't care what you have to say to me. I don't fucking care. Anything anyone has to say to me, go
I
fuck
know. I
yourself.
was like, even where I was like,
Yeah.
okay, you don't even let's
So
not even talk about it. Like, you want to go play racquetball today? You want to go to the zoo today? You want to play Legos? You'd be like,
yeah.
Chaney, I'm gonna break your fucking neck. And I'd be like, that's fine, and I'm gonna be here tomorrow.
See, I
And like
that's
where it
more
was
like
not
what
me
I'm gonna be
like where I
like.
would drive you crazy. I already know, but somewhere in the driving you crazy over the next few days, maybe you would crack a smile and be like, you motherfucker. Like, you motherfucker, and like just have a minute. And so, or you, whatever thing, I just be like, for the things that I like in my life or the people like of the things I've gone through, but I'm not good necessarily on the life end of it. Like on the like I'm awkward in that part. It's like the one time where I'm like, okay, like I can sit with you in this. So it was like when I was going through my dark time, it was like very awkward for me to let somebody sit with me in that.
Mm.
Because I was like, oh shit, I'm usually this friend.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, I am not goofy right now. I'm not trying to make anyone laugh. Like, so, and not that you need to be like just made laugh. Sometimes you're like, sometimes I just need to cry or scream or walk or run or vent or just sit quietly and know that I'm not by myself. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's crazy.
Just not being alone is a big thing, I think, because that's all I really needed.
Yeah. Just being like, it's just sometimes you're going through so much. People are like, hey, Chaney, if you need anything, let me know. And you're like, I need everything. I don't even know where to
Yeah.
begin.
Just come be here with me. That's it. Like, we don't
Yeah.
have to talk about that at all. Like, I just need you to be around me.
So sometimes it's like, I don't give a shit. Are you going through McDonald's and getting your kid a Happy Meal? Bring me a Happy Meal. Like
Yeah.
whatever you're doing, bring me that little piece of life. Because I am, I don't know. It's so nutty. It's been, I said like certain things like, I'm never going to go to an open casket funeral ever again in my life.
Me too.
Like
Oh.
I've said, like, oh, like,
Oh.
or if I hear taps at a funeral again, I can't. Like, I can't. It's so dramatic and sad. And the whole thing about, there's like layers of sadness to me.
I love that though, because my dad's funeral, he had like the 21 gun salute and
No,
taps.
I'm
I loved
saying it
it.
in all the ways where I'm like,
Yeah.
how many times in life can my heart take this
It
whole
is so
entire
sad.
scene and seeing the wife get the thing or the kids get the thing or the flat? It's like, oh, and the
I can't.
guns, like each gun is like
Yeah.
hitting.
It is.
Yeah.
It does deeply, but like it was beautiful to me. But open
I wish
caskets
I
I could
didn't do it
never do
for.
again.
I wish I
Like,
didn't do it for my brother.
An open
I
casket or a
yeah,
funeral or
yeah. I didn't want to see it, but I don't know why I saw it.
ugh.
Like, ugh.
My mom, since it's her day, I'll tell you this. She was a hippie. She didn't wear makeup. She didn't shave her armpits. She didn't shave her legs. She didn't wear a bra. They opened up the casket and she's bald because she had cancer. And I walk into the open casket and they put blue fucking eyeshadow on her and fucking red ass lipstick.
Kidding me?
because some
No.
fagalish is doing their makeup. Like who is doing their makeup? It's not a lady and
I
it's not like they're using expensive makeup.
Who
They're going
wears
to
blue
like
fucking
Walgreens
eyeshadow since
and
like
getting some
1980
That
bullshit.
was a
something?
porno
Yeah.
thing, and it
Oh my
was
god,
like,
I
man,
flipped the fuck out. So December 1st, when I was 16 years
fucking
old, or
sicko.
December like this week, I flipped the fuck out and I never wanted to see another open casket again because that was like, there's my pregnant sister with tissue fucking trying to get the makeup off her face, but it didn't even work. Like it
Mm,
was like stained all over her face. It was horrifying. So I'm like, no. So then my
oh,
aunt, her sister, like when my grandma died later, um, I didn't go to the open casket, like to the wake part of the funeral the night before, and she was like, "You need to deal with this," and I was like, "I'm dealing with it just fine. My grandmother's dead. I don't have to go see her dead body to believe that she's dead, and I'm dealing with it." So
mhm,
they decided at the funeral because I didn't deal with it to leave the casket open. So the only way I could go to the funeral was to actually have to go do the whole open
that
casket.
is so fucked up.
It's so
It's like a
fucked
weird
up.
ritual.
Yeah.
Don't force me to stand in line or have to say my piece in that way or go like worship that dead body in some kind of
Yeah.
way. Like I don't need to see them like that.
I don't.
Like I don't know. It's so weird. I remember it was my great grandmother. And I remember like everybody crying. Like she was like the matriarch of my mom's side of the family. And, blah, blah, blah. And everyone's like acting a scene. And I just didn't have any attachment. Like I was grieving my great, but I didn't have attachment to this corpse a week later
No.
in front of the church or wherever we were at.
No.
And I remember everyone was like, "Oh, she looks so wonderful." And I was like, in this, like, I'm like a like conservative old Baptist male as a 6-year-old. I'm like, she looks like a whore in my head. Like, what kind of who does that makeup? And everyone tried to act like, oh, she's so and she isn't. And I'm like, you adults are full of shit. I remember looking up at them, and then like my mom was so sad. It was her grandmother. And I'm
Yeah.
like, she's like, oh, it doesn't even look like her. And I'm like, probably because her eyebrows are straight. She didn't have eyebrows, and she would draw them like, she couldn't see for a decade of my young life. Like some of her eyebrow would be halfway up her head, like she looked like like, so her eyebrows are all straight with some like whore's cheeks. I was like, huh, like the last way I ever got to see my great.
My brother
Well,
looked beautiful.
It seems like they do like the
Oh, well, that's
Little
good.
angel,
out the
yeah.
corner,
Well,
like the
that is
Joker.
perfect. I'm glad they
Mhm.
didn't put whore makeup on
No.
him. That would have
Yeah,
been
I'm
so
glad he looked
insulting.
good.
He looked so beautiful. Yeah.
Well, that's
The
good. 'Cause
younger, the better.
Yeah.
yeah,
That you're like, oh, he looks like a perfect at
my
sea.
cousin was 3 and she was
Yeah.
beautiful in hers, but like, no, never again. I don't care to ever see
Yeah,
that
me
again. I won't
neither.
have an
I
open
can't do
casket at
it.
my funeral.
Don't ask me. I'm not doing it.
I
I
don't know.
can't.
I'm not into that.
Oof.
Well, have you ever like people who have pictures of their family members in their caskets?
Wait,
Have you
Or they
seen
what?
put
that?
all different things in there.
Well, we put stuff in my mom's casket, like, we all did that, but, like, have you seen where people take pictures and they'll, like, show you their family photo album and you'll see their grandmothers and stuff in the casket?
No, but I feel like there might be pictures from my great's funeral for some
Oh,
reason, but not of
There's
her.
no, I've had a couple
Where
people,
you're
like,
like
just
this.
showing me their pictures, "Oh, look, there's my grandma." I was like,
they
"Oh
were
my
trying to
god,
tell my
why are you
mom.
showing me this? I
They
don't
were
wanna
trying
see
to
your
tell
dead
my
They're like, "Do you
mom
grandma."
wanna
it's
see a dead body?"
Yeah.
it's haram to take a picture. You can't take a picture of your son. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I snuck in there, took a picture. It's like, yeah, not today. You're not telling me what to do. My mom wants a picture. She's gonna have a picture.
Yeah.
Well, that's
On
her
that,
child.
like,
Shut the fuck up.
yeah, it seems like whatever the mom wants for her kid should be just
Mm-hmm. Like,
You
shut the
get it.
fuck up.
Yep.
Like, what are you
Do not
asking? Like,
question
just
her.
do it.
just do it.
Especially in that time. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
don't know. It's
death
so
is
crazy.
strange. Yeah.
And it brings out strange stuff. And there's always, no matter how organized somebody is, there's always money stuff that comes up that you're not planned for at all. Like you're not in. It's just like such a wild time. It's like, I don't know. People reach out that you never heard of. People have say so that you're like, "Bleh, I've never even met you. And you have a say so right now where my dad's going to have his buried body."
You know what it is, honestly? Because even with my cat, whatever it is about seeing a lifeless thing from what being alive to
Mhm.
not seeing alive anymore, that's just like it puts you in a fuck space. Like, where did they go? What happened? Like,
But
okay,
they're
their
not
heart
there.
stopped.
When you touch the
This is
flesh,
there,
it's
but
not
where
like if
did
you
they
touched
go?
inside the casket, you're like, they're not in that. Like I have no
Yeah.
attachment to that thing.
It's such a wild feeling. I can't put it into words what you experience. Like it's a traumatic thing, whichever whatever the experience is, but like the seeing the before and after does something to you. It's like it awakens you and it breaks you open to like know that your heart is broken just to fill it up with things that you know will heal you eventually. You will get broken. Like that's like it happens, but you have to look at it as like an experience to learn. The pain is there to learn. The pain is there to learn from it, and just fill it up with love and experience, and that's it. That's what I learned from death.
And I think like in a great way, like the things you love about them, if you start to concentrate on those things again, you'll
Mhm.
start to see them appear around you all the time.
Yeah.
And
You
like it becomes like a key almost where that's where I always am like, you can ask for a sign. It's fine.
Yeah,
Like pennies from heaven kind of idea or whatever your
Like a
song
pure
or
white moth.
bird or
Like
yeah.
my sign was a shooting star. I still remember it.
But you can do that in real life, like where people are like, I was just thinking about you. And so I just wanted to give you a call because I was just thinking about you. You can say, like, every time I see blank, it reminds me of this person. And
Mhm.
so every time I see blank, I'm going to reach out to that person. Or like I'm going to make an effort or send them good energy or whatever, pray for them, whatever your thing is. I think like those signs and stuff, like the way the
Yeah.
universe works, it's
omens.
for you to feel that
stars.
thing.
I've always seen a star with someone passing away, a shooting star, every time in the sky. with friends that I've known, with loved ones, my ex. When I found out, boom, it was like a sign. Hello,
Wow.
here I am. We are of the
When
stars.
when
We
my
are of the
dad died,
stars.
I knew, well, it was the day he died. I knew he was gonna die because there was a butterfly that, like, went on this whole hike with me for miles. Like, it followed me the whole way. So, yeah, you always get a little sign, I think, if you're looking
Hmm.
for it.
I've seen the craziest signs, even for signs for other people that have nothing to do with me on special days for them, where I'm like,
Really?
"Oh, I can't believe that just happened." But we're all thinking the same thing right now, even though we're going to carry on with this 3D event.
Mm.
Yeah.
Act like that wasn't the most magical thing that bald eagle just flew in the background of your wedding right when you were reading a poem about your dad, and then there was nothing in the sky. We're all just going to move on from that,
Wow.
whatever crazy
Yeah.
that it might be that is like, oh my gosh, remember when that song just started playing? Or remember when your phone wouldn't stop ringing the night before and there was no number? It kept saying unknown. I don't know. I
Wow.
think the universe is like that. God is like that.
I
We're
do
attached
too.
in these ways that I think we get kind of, like you were talking about Mary and the cards. It wasn't in her cards, or was it? Because, like, look at the thing that's left of her now. And we were talking about the statues holding people imprisoned. And now, like, you can say her name 3 times and she's trapped inside this mirror forever. Which, if you look at a playing card, it looks like she's in a framed mirror. Like, one of the
Mm.
Yeah.
cards is actually a representation of her. I don't remember what one she is. But
What card is this? What are you guys talking about?
the Medici, just the card deck, the regular
Oh,
for
the queen.
yeah, she's
Yeah.
one of the queens. Like, one of them's Elizabeth, one of them's Mary, one of them's like, it's the each one of the kings and queens, and they all have like a person in the world or in the empires that they represent. So it's like in different things, not necessarily in the
You need to go into
Medici,
the history of the cards. Yeah.
but it would
Wow.
be crazy. Like, if you were playing with a card and they're like, we're gonna make this card represent you.
Yeah. That would be freaking nuts because that's just, I mean, cars are so,
We have one.
everyone's got them. We
What is
do.
that? I have one. She has one. She has
Paranoid
one.
America or American.
Yeah, and anyone that ordered the new Illuminati comic, if they got the Illuminati comic Yacht Club, then they get. I think there's 2 tiers that get like special gifts, but I know either one of those dudes because of just how they are. You're gonna get so much more than you think
Yeah.
you're gonna get because
Yeah.
they're good at, both of them are really good at making a care package. I know that's not a lot of my.
I don't
know.
have donuts care package, but I do. I got one of
Let me see if I have anything else inside.
Paranoid Americans, and it was full of goodies. So I was like, "Oh my god, you're the fucking best."
I
He
have,
just
like,
shipped
cute
me.
magnets and like like what up donut and like Pee-wee's Big Adventure in Little China.
Nice.
And then this is my favorite. I need to put this, but I need to get like frames for my
Pee-wee's Big
cards and stuff.
Adventure in a
A
Little
signed picture of this is how he posed.
I love it.
So when he took that magnet picture on the dolphin and then they edited
Oh,
it.
okay, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's just one little thing. If you're a yacht club member, you're going to get so much more than that. And I have that was packed full of stuff that I have pieces of it everywhere. So
Riggs told you, Layla, that you don't want donuts package. I think he's a little
What the?
jealous.
uh-oh.
I didn't mean it in that way, but okay, Riggs, I see you.
You want donuts package?
He said he was going to send me his package.
Hey.
Detachable, huh?
Yo.
I'm gonna bring the whole package.
Oh no, I respect Donut very much. He's a great friend right now.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah,
He's a nice guy. So, all right. Well,
very smart.
this is Abbie's birthday show and Brittany's birthday show. And we have to get off air before it's officially Oklahoma time and Layla's time that it's Abbie's birthday and the stripper gets here. So,
Woohoo!
do you guys have any other things that you want to chat about before we skedaddle on this Sunday? On this
No,
yellow
but
Sunday?
anyone want to send me some soul? Go ahead. Just hit me up. Love you guys.
Yeah,
Y'all made me
if
feel
you're
better.
rich in crypto out there and feel like
Send me
dropping
Bitcoin.
wallets,
Love you.
hit us up. Love you. Yeah, hit us. Any crypto whales out
Have
there?
tons of XRP.
I am so happy about that for you because
Yeah.
for real, since I known Layla, like she's diamond hands,
Hold.
Other
diamond
XRP?
hands.
Yeah.
Hold.
Yeah, Layla doesn't let go. She's like that. There's that
Been a
one
diamond.
like
I've been witching my way to make sure XRP is gonna be the gold standard. That's it. Bye bye Bitcoin. That's what I'm
well,
praying for.
this is the real thing too. Like for everywhere that Bitcoin eventually like levels off and hits this mark, if you notice, like it'll hit this peak and then come down a little. All come down a little are all people that made like, okay, I got profit, and now I see these other coins at such a low market cap and they're moving. They're like, maybe I will drop a little over there and play over in XRP and what. But if you look at XRP and Stellar and these kind of things, their like graphs are insane. Like they're taking off in a way that it makes people so insane that it's so keck.
Yeah, and I'm not even pulling the money out. Like I don't have the money right now, but if I
Diamond
wanted
hands.
to, I could pull it out.
Diamond hands.
Just like hold. That's it. Patience.
HOLD
Yeah.
HODL. Hold.
That's how you play the game. Be patient.
Yeah, it really is that way on the big and little scale.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes things are like, this doesn't seem like a thing. Wait, things are in seasons, things are in times. You don't even know.
All
Like
the stars, baby. That's how billionaires make money.
it is. There's so many of these little yeah.
Cheers.
Anyways, we should totally crypto geek out sometime and maybe start a side chat. But I do definitely want to have an episode of like just crypto 101 of all the dumb.
I'd really like it.
How the wallets work and the exchanges and what certain things mean that you might want to know, or if you want to open a wallet, like if you wanted to play along and do it, like we might be able to do something that I don't know. I don't want it to have to cost you guys anything.
All of that. Giveaways.
Yeah, but a lot of the wallets too, because there's so many of them now, they run things on them where they're like, if you watch this video, you can get, 0.002
Coinbase does
Stellar.
it all the time,
If you
yeah.
watch this, yeah, like Coinbase always has like, if you watch this, because they just want you to download some app and do, but you're also will learn something too. You can get a couple bucks, but yeah, I don't want it to have to cost you guys anything. But if you're interested at all, there are tons of spaces, and X is ground for it. And it is another currency that's being traded. It's the same Wall Street that's being done. It's just happening instead of guys on a floor being like, this one, trade it, buy it, sell it. It's just happening with a whole bunch of people at their houses. And
the grandest wealth transfer the world has ever seen. Ever.
Well, sometimes people talk about how the 1% own everything. And so if there was ever kind of a balancing of that, like 2% of, let's say 1% more was going to go back to the people, that's a lot of wealth to transfer.
Yeah.
So in some ways you wonder how many things it has to be put into. So the 1% wouldn't own everything anymore if you played in my fairy tale. Ding. Okay. I love you guys.
That was cute. I liked it.
I love you guys so much.
Send me Bitcoin.
Make sure you send Abbie a whole bunch of slices of cake for her birthday. Make sure you find a picture of her cake to put it on. So XOXO Gossip Girl.
Love ya.
Bye-bye.
Britney Spears, can we be saved? God, why is Satan controlling the universe?
Here comes Santa. Here comes the world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, cult, Jamaicans, it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys. The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, cult, Jamaicans, it's okay to